You know what we gotta do.
We gotta dance it in. We gotta dance it in
Is that
now.
too loud?
I don't know.
That's much better. That's much better. Carm.
The live band.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you.
Tino, thanks.
Appreciate you, boys.
Appreciate you coming through.
Happy to be here.
All right, cool.
You're looking great, by the way.
Appreciate you.
Haven't
guys.
seen you in a shmini.
It's been a minute.
Last time I saw you down at the field training, like always.
We might have been training together, actually.
Yeah, but we were.
So
We were.
It's been a minute. I think I might have seen you at Beerfit.
I would pull up with, yeah, I've definitely seen you at Barefoot. I would pull up with Ty to the field doing crazy shit, and I would always see you there. Always.
Always
place.
grinding.
Happy place, you know?
Really?
Escape from reality, you know what I mean?
I love that's
Put
how
your
you look
headphones
at it.
in. Yeah.
It's like, we talk about this all the time, how training can be a drug.
It is, yeah. And
Legit.
I think in today's world, it's tough. It's tough to consider it as a drug because you got all this other stuff going on too, though. I mean,
Yeah.
the college scene is so big nowadays. I mean, when you think drug, you think alcohol, and you think weed, right? But
Most
I
common
think-
ones, right?
You did.
When you
yeah.
say drug too, it's like a negative connotation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
I guess it is.
I absolutely agree, though. It is a drug. It's a good drug.
It's addicting,
You know what I mean?
right.
It's a good thing to be addicted. It's better to be addicted to that than,
100%.
this other stuff. So
I look at obsession not as always a bad thing. I think being obsessed with something, dedicating your life to it,
That's how you're gonna be successful.
that's the only
know what
way
I
you're
mean?
going to do well in it. And we see it with you. You 100% are obsessed.
dude, if you love something, you know what I mean? Like,
You fucking get
I think
after it.
it's the biggest bullshit. You don't want to be obsessed with something, If it's a positive addiction, it's good to have an addiction. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
I agree.
I
agree.
And at the same time, it's different for everyone too. But I think that just obsession is a good thing if you harness it the right way and harness it in the right things.
Yes.
So if you're bettering yourself,
Love that.
physically and mentally, if you're making money, whatever it may be, if you're getting your relationship right with God, obsession is a good thing. It just has to be harnessed the right way.
Snaps for that.
Well, real quick, we didn't even get to introduce you. So introduce yourself. Tell me what you do.
I mean, basically right now, what I do for work basically is like on social media. I do social media management. I was posting
yeah.
a little bit on social media, doing a little bit of content creation. That's the economy nowadays. That's how you make money.
Legit.
You want to get put on.
Legit.
You
We're
gotta
trying to
on
get
social
like
media.
you.
These guys are doing right now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like this is the future. So I was dabbling in that a little bit, creating content of myself. Now I'm a little bit on the back, sort of like behind the scenes, managing brands and stuff like that on Instagram. I hope curate, post short form content. I'm contracted by like these smaller movie editors for like marketing campaigns. We'll release short form clips and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So just been sort of hustling, freelancing on the side. That's what I've been doing. I haven't, since I've been out of college, I haven't really had like a true 9 to 5. I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible.
That's
feel
dope.
that.
That's
Feel
dope.
that.
And I'm not knocking anyone who does it because I understand like everyone in my family does it, and
Yep.
I'm not knocking it, but it's just I don't want to be relegated to that sort of
You don't want like
that mindset.
we talk about it all the time. Like, it's control. It's control.
It is. And
Yeah.
But like, here's the thing. Like, when I say that, I think a lot of people take it as like I'm shitting on people like that. I don't shit on people.
No.
Every single person.
It's just
Right.
not for you.
Not for you.
It's not for me, but it's also like I've worked jobs like that before, like where you're going in every single day of the week, and it's like you sort of just fall into this routine, and it's
all
It's
the
the
same.
rat race.
It's hard to
Same
see the other
thing.
side,
Trust
you know
me.
what I'm saying?
We
It's
all
just,
get it. We
like
all
you're saying,
get
the
it.
hamster wheel. So
It's a rat race.
I understand it. It needs to be done. Like you got to put the roof over your head, the food on the table. Especially if you're a man and you're providing for a family, providing for a woman and stuff like
Yep.
that. It's a necessity. But I think if you have a passion and you have something outside of that realm that you can chase, then you should absolutely chase it. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that goes back to the obsession thing, right? If you love something, you're obsessed with it, you're going to make it work no matter what.
And it's tough at first. I'll tell you what. That's the thing. When I started posting on social media, those first few, I was in college, and so those first few months and that first year really was like, you get people coming up to you saying stuff like, oh, you're a TikTok star now. You're going on.
Yeah, people
haters,
kind of get in your
haters.
face a little
You know
bit.
what I
Yeah.
mean? And they don't come out. It's not straight up hate. They're not saying like
No.
Right.
Just
but
little
you
digs.
you can fit exactly.
Yeah.
Little
The
digs,
subtle
like condescending, subtle digs and stuff like that. And so it gets in your head a little bit. But like we've been saying, if you're obsessed and you're passionate about it, man, I kept doing it because here's the thing too. I fell into this rut where I was doing it for numbers and stuff like that. I'm not trying to act like I had like millions of followers. I didn't have that.
Yeah, you were doing numbers though. You
were doing numbers, though.
Don't get it twisted. Hey, check him out on Instagram. Go follow him right now.
Yes, sir.
But the thing is, like, even the messages I got DMs from kids who were like, they were in high school or middle school, and they were telling me that either them or they sent like my content to their friends who said they were having a hard time or they were suicidal or they were having a difficult time with their parents and stuff like that, and I saved their lives. And I don't know how true that is.
No way.
That's awesome though.
Damn.
Just to
That
hear
shit-
that.
Like I took that, made that shit my screensaver on my phone, and like I had to remind myself that's why I do it. You know what I mean? Because
Right. That's a purpose.
all
right
of us,
there.
Yeah.
all of us have a story. All of us have something inside of us that can inspire someone else. So, you know what I mean? I didn't want to get into it for the numbers and for the money and stuff like that. Obviously, it's a great I mean, that's
Right. That's.
we all do. Like that's a byproduct of everything. But at the same time, I try to remind myself. I try to do it for those who are in need of it. And a lot of times, these guys are younger too, and they need like a strong male figure in their life. They need some sort of like leadership.
I
and so-
agree.
I mean, that's what I try to embrace that as much as I can whenever I'm posting on social media and stuff. So,
Dude,
Hell
so
yeah, bro.
when you get hit with that, like a really, so let's get deep real quick. That's a deep
that's
thing
deep
for
shit right
someone to
there.
literally say, like, you are a reason why I'm still here.
yeah, and again, like I said, I don't know how true it is, but
like, either
to
way.
even take the time and send something like that, it's got to be somewhat true. I must have had some sort of impact for
Yeah.
someone to say
Right.
that. And so
They reached out to you.
Either way.
You know.
How did that kind of like hit a little bit?
it brought me to
You
tears.
don't know how to feel.
It brings you to tears a little bit too, because it's like I think, especially for someone like me, I've lived in my town my entire life, and I think I sort of get this bubble mindset where I don't
Yeah.
realize how many people are out there in the world. They're going
Big
through
ass
shit. You know what I'm
world.
saying? Like they're,
Yeah.
you know, their parents are getting divorced, or they're suicidal, or they're going through struggles. They can't make enough money to pay the rent and the bills and stuff like that. And you know, some of these younger kids are being bullied in school, and they're just looking for one person, one dude, like someone they can relate to, and like you know what I
Yeah.
mean, like match energy with. And so when I get those messages, it's like I said, it literally like brings me to tears. It makes my eyes water because it makes me realize that. I mean, that's all we want to feel like. We want to feel like we're having an impact on people. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's-
Honestly,
Legit.
that's how I look at like music a lot of the times. I look at music a lot as people that I can relate to, people that I resonate with, that like go through similar struggle, and I just like look up to these artists. And like you can look up to people in any of that, in a sport, and you know, training it the way you do. I think, like you said, it's important to have just a strong role model.
Absolutely.
And speaking of that, because there's a lot of that going around the world right now, like with the whole Andrew Tate thing. Like,
Yeah.
what's your take on all that stuff?
What, like masculine?
So like whole masculinity
Yeah, so
community
I'm not one
type
of those,
thing.
you know, alpha, beta. I don't use that terminology.
Yeah, that stuff's kind of crazy.
I do think some of the stuff he says, it is truth. It's blunt.
Fair.
People don't want to hear it.
I can
It's
agree with
blunt,
that.
But I
100%.
also, I'm of the belief as well that if you're censored and you're attacked like he was, you're speaking
That's
some
wrong.
sort of truth.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So
It's a
to
fact.
some sort of degree. Now, if we want to get into that truth, we can. There's a lot of things I disagree with him on. A lot of things I agree with him on. But I don't think, in terms of him being like banned and trying to be wiped off the face of the earth
That's
and the
fucked
internet,
up. Yeah, I agree.
I think I mean, when I see something like that, I think he's speaking some sort of truth, and the system doesn't want that to be known. A lot of these
He's on to something. He's on to something. You
He's
know?
pissing
Yeah,
off
man.
some type of people.
Yeah, absolutely. These people at the top, we won't name names. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
we
'Cause
won't.
we don't know exactly who they are, but
Right.
they're there.
The elite of the elite.
Now we're talking.
Now we're
And now we
talking.
can get into this. Like we can go here.
Hey, I mean, we
I believe
bring
in
it up on
I
pod
believe
often.
in it all the time.
Yeah.
And-
Well, I'm on the same page. I'm with you guys. It's absolutely like. It's above the government. It's above politicians. It's above
an Illuminati
corporations.
an Illuminati of some
It's a
sort.
secret society.
Yes, exactly.
Now-
exactly. 100%.
I guarantee you get people like
In some way, shape, or form, that is occurring.
we get people who laugh at us when we say these things. But hey,
I laugh too,
Everyone's
because
crazy.
it's real.
Everyone's crazy until they're right. Right? I mean,
Yep. Exactly.
Everything
Facts.
done in the
Facts.
dark will come to the light. So we'll see what happens in the end. But I absolutely believe there's people who
That's
didn't
so
want him
funny.
platformed for a reason, because he was speaking truth and he was motivating men and he was inspiring men, and that's something we don't have in society today. A lot of these
Not a
kids,
lot. Not a lot.
He was preaching to people to not be controlled, and they
Yeah, that's a good
higher
one.
power, whoever it is, did not like it.
He
Did
was
not fuck
he
with
was kind of big on the Matrix for real.
he was. I mean, he was doing his own little school where he was trying to help people escape that 9 to 5. Escape that matrix.
it. Yeah.
Making money
I agree with
online,
that.
and they killed the payment. They like canceled his payment processor, so he had to like he can't open a bank account with any
That's
bank around the world and
insane.
stuff like that. So he had to make his own payment processor and stuff like that. Open up his
Wow.
own shit. So when you're taking it to that level, yeah, there's some truth.
There has to be.
I'll leave it
There
at that,
has to
though,
be, bro.
I love that. Yeah, that definitely people get really like tight about that topic. I don't know why. People apparently can't have like adult conversations in society without everyone freaking out.
I don't
You know?
I don't blame people, because this is what the media does. They sensationalize things like that, and they make people emotional about it. So when
That's a great way to put it.
So
I've never really thought
it's
of it
true.
like that. They do
It's true.
sensationalize it. That's
they
a fact.
sensationalize it. They release these headlines that make him out to be this evil person. I don't know him, but
They're for clicks too. at
from
the
what
end
I've
of the day.
seen about him, he's donating to charities. He's helping kids in the war-torn countries. You know, he's feeding the homeless. He was bringing people out of Ukraine when the war was going on there. He's feeding the kids in the war right now in the Middle East. So he's doing good things. I'm not saying he's a saint. I'm just saying he's another human like the rest of us. But they make him out to be this bad guy. They tell all the people through the media that he's this evil guy, and they run with it. They get emotional about it, and you can't even sit down and have conversations about him, right? Because he's automatically the bad guy. You automatically can't talk about it. They just shut it off. You know what I mean?
That's so true. People get, like I said, people get tight about it.
Yeah, but I appreciate to be able to sit down with you guys. You guys, you know what I mean? We don't have to get into it, but like you guys understand it. And you guys can talk. You guys are willing to talk about it at the least.
Hell yeah, bro.
I'm big on being.
We'll talk about
open-minded.
anything.
Yeah.
Talk about anything.
I'm a big believer in like if there's two things you can be in this life, always just be self-aware and open-minded, because those two things won't ever steer you wrong. If you're like self-aware enough to know yourself, know your worth, know people around you, things like that, as well as like be open-minded to topics that like you may have your beliefs, that's fine, but don't be so married to your beliefs to the point where like you're not able to look at anyone's other opinion, because I think that's a backwards way of living.
Well, that's how they want us to live, though. They want people to.
It's
like
a backwards way of living.
They want people to be so married to their ideology and stuff like that, where you can't
Be
even
divisive.
have a dialogue. It's divide and
Right.
conquer. So
Well,
you see going
Divide
on-
and conquer, bro.
You see that in politics nowadays too. It's
Yeah,
like
that's
this
so
whole
true.
this whole Trump and Biden thing. It's like whole Republican Democrat. They don't want there to be any gray area. They want it
No-
to be like a sports
yeah,
game, like
no
a
room for
sports rival,
nuance.
like Yankees, Red Sox, and shit like that.
They
They want
wanna-
people at their
Exactly.
necks.
That's a good way to put
They
it.
want to pin two sides against each other, because if
Always.
that's the case, it's way easier to control us.
Absolutely.
100%.
Keeps us distracted and allows them to continue to do what they're doing behind the scenes, right?
Mm.
So I mean,
Preach.
these are
Yeah,
age-old
this is
tactics.
some serious
These are
shit.
age-old tactics they're doing. I mean, this has been
They got us in a chokehold.
it's been being done in civilized since the Roman Empire thousands of years ago. They've been doing this. What they say? It says the beating heart of Rome isn't the sand of the Colosseum, but it's it's not the marble of it's not the marble of the Senate, but the sand of the Colosseum, because it keeps the people distracted, right?
Yes.
Let's look this
Look
up.
that quote up. I believe
What is
it's-
it?
I believe the beating heart of Rome isn't the marble of the Senate, but the sand of the Colosseum.
Yes, because think about it, Rand.
Um,
Back in the day when when the old Elon Musk and Zuckerberg were gonna fight at the Coliseum, everyone in town went. Not one person wasn't there.
Right, feed them breads, feed them circuses, feed them events, and
Feed them everything.
we'll continue to commit war crimes and stuff like that
And then-
behind the scenes.
The government's out behind their backs. That's not in the Coliseum, just doing whatever they want.
all right, I found it. All right,
You got it?
it is from
Might
the
have
movie
paraphrased it, though.
Gladiator with Gerard Butler. What's his name?
That was from the movie?
Yeah, it's from the movie
man, it's not-
Gladiator.
Hey, it's a great
At
quote.
least,
It's
at least
still a
that's
good
how I
It's a
found
great
it.
quote.
But it says, "The beating heart of Rome is not the marble of the Senate; it's the sand of the Colosseum. He'll bring them death, and they will love him for it."
Wow.
So the beating heart of Rome is not the marble of the Senate; it's the sand of the Colosseum.
And it makes sense, man, because it's like, I think a lot of people...
Break that down for me. I'm sorry.
So in a way, it's like, this is how I look at it, and I try to, like, compare it to today's world. There's so many, like, if we ever needed to stage a revolt against our government, it'd be so hard for us to do that, because we're so distracted and so enamored by, like,
Stupid shit.
the everyday life, right? The sporting events,
Yes.
the gambling,
Yes.
the drinking,
Mhm.
the 9 to 5 life. Well, now my
Mhm.
wife's complaining back at home, and I got to take care of the house, and I got to take care of this, and I got to go out on the weekend because I just worked 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. I got to go party with the boys, and
Right.
then by the
Yeah.
time the weekend ends, you're back in the grind. It's like you're just constantly,
In a loop.
and it's just like
No time to think about what's
Groundhog
going on.
Day.
all,
For
all
real.
of these things going on, like. Some of these things, like, I don't want to get into it, but like Epstein's Island and stuff like that, that's enough.
Pizzagate. We were
That-
just talking about this.
That shit's enough. That shit's enough to have a civilization turn upside down. We should be on the streets protesting and marching about that shit, demanding the truth about that shit. You know what I mean? So
And think about how long we didn't know about that, and think about how much more of that shit's going on that we have no idea.
it's only the tip of the iceberg.
Only
man.
the tip.
Only the tip, man. Pause.
Pause.
Just the tip.
But
Just the
it's
tip.
but like that's the
Oh,
thing.
man.
But that's
This is some deep Matrix talk for real.
but see, like even something like that, that should get every single man, every single working
That should get
age
every
male
person,
out of the streets.
just every person, yeah.
But especially the men, because who lead the revolutions in history, right? It's the men.
Fair.
When a civilization conquers another civilization in past time, what would they do? They would kill all the working aged men, because they know that they'd be able to fight back if they decided
That's
to
fair.
revolt.
It's a fair
So that's
point.
what they're doing today. In from an ideological standpoint, they're not killing us. Literally, they can't do that. They can't get away with it today, right? They're not putting us to the
So
sword.
that we know.
But they're
We
weakening
can
us.
get into pharmaceuticals and all that whole thing if you want.
Weakening
food,
us.
I used to
food
work
and stuff
for a
like, but they're
pharmacy.
weakening us mentally. They're not giving us male role models. They're dulling us. They're castrating us metaphorically.
Yep.
So I mean,
100%.
Chemically wise sometimes.
the food we're eating too, man. I mean,
Those
come
chemicals,
on.
All right, well,
bro. Those chemicals.
Before we just touched on a lot of things, and I want to touch on all of those. But before we do that, I kind of want to get your origin a little more.
Yeah, let's
Kind of
go.
want to know, where'd you kind of start thinking this way? Where'd you kind of, again, yeah, where you're very big into inspirational and training in that aspect of the behavior of training. Like where'd you adopt that too? Like where did that come from?
I think, I mean, the cliche answer is just like playing sports growing up. You know what I mean? You had to. And I was always like an undersized
Facts.
kid. I had no one in my family who was playing sports. I had no like strong male figure in my life to really guide me.
Yep.
I was never part of like any sort of like training regimen at like I never paid for it. It was me in the weight room by myself. You
Yeah,
know, early
just
mornings, late nights,
grind.
out on the field doing stuff like that. So I understood the importance of not just physical toughness and physical strength, but also mental strength and
Yeah.
mental resilience. And I adopted the mental side of that after college because I realized that if you don't have a strong mind in today's day and age, you're like a leaf in the wind, right? You're like a wave in the current because
Mental health is super important nowadays, right?
you can be, with all the fake stuff going around, with all these stuff they're putting out into society today, you know, all these lies and stuff like that. If you don't know yourself, man, you're lost. And so you gotta take yourself into those deep waters. And the way I do that through training. Now others that may be in their studies, maybe you're becoming a doctor and you have to put the phone down and lock in and study for hours, or maybe you're a computer engineer, you got to be on that computer, you got to train yourself to do that. But for me, it's been training, and that's what it's not only, it's beautiful because it's like a double-edged sword. It's like I'm able to strengthen my body physically, but I also get like emotional benefits out of it, mental, even spiritual benefits out of it. I feel
Hell
like
yeah.
voluntary back in the days, it was involuntary suffering. Nowadays, we live such a comfortable life that you have to voluntarily put yourself through suffering. You have to voluntarily put yourself, you know, in those difficult positions. I don't know if you guys know David Goggins, but
Of course.
The goat.
Who's gonna carry the boats, dude?
yeah, I mean, the boats and the logs, man. That's what it's about, and that's what
Who's
I
gonna
try to
carry the
embrace. I'm
boats?
not Goggins. I'm not saying that by any means. Like it's gonna take a lifetime to achieve what
I
he's done.
respect that mental state that he
That
has. though.
mentality.
That
That's
mentality is what
mentality.
every single male
100%.
needs today. Like that's what creates strong societies. That's what creates strong households, and that's what creates strong men. So
I think that's just like a good character trait to have in anybody. I think anybody should have that, like you said, resilience in them, that courage to just say like, yeah, this sucks, but like I'm gonna do it anyway. Cause fuck it. What else am I gonna do? That's how I kind of look at it.
absolutely.
What else would I be doing right now?
And that's the thing. Like this whole mental health movement, all for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's talk about it more. We need to make people more mentally stronger. We need to make people, you know, understand themselves a little bit more.
I love that.
But
That's so true.
But I also believe, like you were just saying, there's a time to like, you know, sort of like wallow in your feelings, and there's a time to put the feelings aside and get the job done. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of
facts.
people today lack that mindset.
A lot of people just wallowing.
A lot of
They
people
want
just
self-pity. They want pity. You know what I mean? They want an
Yeah.
excuse. But I think
They want someone to feel bad and do it for them or something.
You
like
want to
that.
know what I think it is? I think a lot of people, you know, I forget who said this, but it's like everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Mike Tyson.
Did Mike Tyson say that?
Yeah.
It's
All
true.
right. Mike Tyson's go, by the way. Come on the pod.
Yeah, Mike, come on the pod. We know you're watching.
I can apply that to literally anything in life, and I look at life as an obstacle course where you'll get punched in the face, like you think you got it figured out, you'll get punched in the face and dropped, and then you kind of like turn into a lost puppy. You don't know what to do, and when that happens, I think people get scared shitless. People don't know how to fucking deal with it or cope with it, so they just give up on it, or
They start
let
looking
it
for
go,
answers
or
outside
start-
of themselves, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of get out of that way, right? So it's like, and that can be with anything. That could be with like school or training or a relationship. Like people, when some shit gets hard, people just like fucking, like you said, like no resilience. They just, all right, This is too hard. I'm done.
And part of the reason why is because you don't. That's the thing I love about training though, is because like when I'm on that 5th, 6th, 7th set of pull-ups, and I have to get this shit done because I told myself I was gonna get it done, and I'm tired and my forearms are burning.
You sign that contract with yourself.
And my calluses are, you know, they're busting up my hand and stuff like that, and I don't want to do it, but I know I have to do it because I don't want to think of myself as, I don't want to look at myself in the mirror.
What else would you be doing?
Like that's when you put yourself in those situations. You know, you're running a marathon and it's mile 15 and your legs are about to, you know, fall off. Your knees are aching and you got Achilles tendonitis and you got 11 more miles and you just want to get this shit done. What do you do? Do you fold or keep going? When you put yourself in those situations and scenarios and you prevail, it's not just putting yourself in them, but it's actually prevailing and completing the mission.
That stuff hits, dude.
You grow. People don't realize this. The mind is a muscle as well. Everyone looks at the bicep, the chest,
100%. You're so right.
Right? The mind is a muscle as well, and the only way you strengthen the mind is by putting it in difficult situations and coming through on the other side. Same way we grow the bicep, same way we grow the chest, right? Same way we grow the quads.
Yeah, you're so right.
Different.
I think Socrates was the one that said that like for a man to not know his like strength, both like physically and mentally, is like a dead person. I don't know. I forget what he said.
Great quote. Yeah.
But something like that. I have to look that up. But like pretty much like you shouldn't ever be like one way. Like you shouldn't want to be just like mentally, you know, strong and not physically. Like you want to be both.
It comes hand in hand, though. You know,
that's like dangerous. You know what I mean? People look at that as dangerous.
Yeah, like you don't want to. You can be a poet. You can be just a poet. You can be just a warrior. But best case scenario is that you're a warrior and a poet. You know what I mean? Have a strong mind, have a strong body, and be capable in both areas. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Nothing's wrong with having a little bit more. If you're a little bit more tough,
you're
a little bit better. I mean, it's about being.
It's only gonna help you.
You know what I mean? That's what we all want more.
I always look at it like you've seen the Marvel movies, of course.
I have. I'm not a big Marvel guy. I'm not.
No, that's fine.
I'm more of like a. It's funny you pulled that. I'm more of like a Gladiator, 300.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Like
300 is my shit, dude.
It's the only movies I watch. Like Napoleon's coming out, and
that's gonna be sick.
It's gonna be sick. Ridley Scott. So.
Fuck yeah.
That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope.
But you obviously know who the Hulk is.
Yeah, for sure.
So the Hulk is looked at like these two binary things, right? Like he's only either like the weak doctor, but he's a fucking genius, or he's the big dumb strong idiot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then they like blend them together in the movies. I don't know if you saw that, but they do put them together, which I think it was cool. It's the way you're looking at it is like a poet and a warrior.
Absolutely. And like I said, I mean, why not be both?
Why not be both?
You know what I mean? Because it's like, especially in today's world where, like I was saying, you know, there's a lot of just BS going around, and you got to be able to protect yourself and your family. Like you want to not only be smart, but you also want to be physically capable, like in today's world.
100%.
So I think it's a necessity. I don't think it's just something. I mean, I think every man should, you know. And I'm not saying you have to go to the gym and bench press 405. I'm not saying to put up 4 plates and squat.
But find that thing.
Yeah, if it's long distance running, if it's, you know, hitting the gym 2 or 3 times a week, pushing yourself, if it's dancing, hey, if it's hot yoga, you got to do what you got to do. But it's just keeping the body and the mind right. You know, keeping the body, mind, and soul right. I believe in that as well. Though. Get right with God too. So.
I agree. But to get back to like whatever that grind is, because a lot of people think, like you said, like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to do that, but I want to like get active. It's like you don't have to lift weights. You don't have to, you know, do this. There's so many different, like you said, it's yoga, dancing, like all these little things that you can
and give me
utilize.
10. You know what I mean?
Just
like,
push-ups. Yeah,
you got to pull a bar, throw it up on the door. You know what I mean? It's like,
exactly.
I think, I have people in my life who are like this. They come to me for advice, and it's like, what can I do in the gym? I want to lose weight, and it's like, just go.
Just go.
It's like the most difficult. The most difficult time is going to be the first week.
That's so true.
You're gonna feel like you're being judged and looked at, especially if you're a little out of shape. But once you get past that first week, those first few weeks, you're cooking now, and now it just becomes a routine. But a lot of people they want to stay in this talking stage and the scheduling stage because they want to avoid. They want to avoid the work,
the action.
You know what I mean?
The work, yeah.
So they want to stay in that planning stage. They want to ask questions. They want to look up on Google and show up to the gym. Look up chest workout on Google. Find your favorite creator on Instagram or YouTube. Look up his chest workout, whatever. Hit the gym, go. Tweak it. If you didn't like that exercise, try another one. Keep showing up. Keep showing up. That's what it's about, man. It's about showing up. So
consistency.
That's number one
just
thing.
Go.
You can ask all the questions you want.
Yeah.
If you don't show up, nothing's gonna grow. Nothing's gonna change. You're not gonna get better. So.
Yeah, people.
That's a fact,
people
bro.
do like to flirt around with it. You know what I mean? People always love to.
I'm like that too, though. I'm like that too. And like I
feel like it's human. It's human nature.
You got to break it.
Yeah. But you execute. You know what I mean? A lot of people, like you said, flirt, do the talking stage. Like, we'll say, yeah, I'll be there. I'll pull up, and then they don't. But then, like we just said, like it takes like about 21 days to like form a habit, right? So it takes 3 weeks. So if you can last those 3 weeks, just go every day. I mean, not every day, but like try to go as many times as you can those 21 days. Then you start, like you said, form a routine. And you figure it out what works for you.
And you'll realize after those 21 days as well that it's beneficial. That you're going to be better off doing this than you were not.
I don't think I've ever regretted like a workout. Like in the moment, I'm in a workout and like, fuck, this sucks. But I'm like, just fucking put my head down and grind it out because what else would I be doing?
There's literally no downside after. Like you
feel great.
You grow stronger.
You feel great after.
Mentally, you're so much more confident. Your self-esteem goes through the roof. You know what I mean? You consider yourself more. And that's what I mean. It's
so true.
That's what matters at the end of the day. It's like, what do you think of yourself? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what everyone else thinks of you, but if you're hitting the gym and you know you're putting in the work on your own time, you don't need the applause and stuff like that. You don't need the praise. Like, you're gonna have confidence in yourself, and that's what matters because you're with yourself 24/7. These other people, they're not with you. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
They're not with you 24/7. They're not. You know, the crowd loves to cheer when you're in front of them, but you're not always in front of the crowd. There's those late nights, those early mornings and stuff like that when you're chasing your dream, you're chasing your shit. So
bro.
You got to make sure you're in your own corner too.
Hell yeah, that just gave me the chills right there.
Yeah,
that just gave me the chills. Is
it that or is it cold outside? It might be
I mean, a little bit of both, but no, you're speaking the truth. You're speaking some good shit.
It's the hard truth. But I want to ask, like, what like, with all that comes with, I would say, confidence, right? Like, how much of a role does confidence play when like you're new? When you're a newbie, when you're new to anything, you know what I mean?
I mean, we were just saying how it takes 3 weeks to build a habit. So I mean, I don't think that's the thing. It's like I don't think you're ever going to be when you start with something, you're never going to be confident. Like think of anything you've ever done in your life. Like the first week you ever were in a gym.
No idea
you
what
played
you're doing.
football.
You're never starting off with confidence.
You don't have confidence. But that's why I always say those first 3 weeks we can use that timetable. It's the most difficult in any endeavor, whether you're an entrepreneur, an athlete, whatever it may be, because those first 3 weeks separate those who are serious and those who are just here because
I agree.
Well, maybe they want to make a little money or they want to look good for some girls, on Instagram, social media, and stuff like that. Because those who prevail past those 3 weeks and make it a lifestyle, make it a routine, they're in it for the long run, and they're in it because they're serious about it. And that's all the successful entrepreneurs today. Talk about Elon Musk and Zuckerberg. We can get into Zuckerberg. He might be a lizard. But
I hope they fight, dude. I hope they fight each other.
Elon Musk and all these guys, Steve Jobs, they said they had no idea what they were doing in the beginning.
I know.
But they kept it. Bezos, they kept going. They were in their garages.
I know.
Doing their shit on their own. And they believed that they saw it when no one else saw it. You just have to outlast those. For some, it's 3 weeks. For some, it's a couple years. For some, it's 10 years. But you have to
longevity.
Just stay the course. You know what I'm saying?
Course,
and then the confidence comes.
Hell yeah.
You're telling me like when Bezos was racking up, 9 figures, 12 figures. You're telling me he wasn't confident?
He's lacking confidence.
You know what I'm saying? Like maybe his confidence was low when he was in the garage and no one was in his corner and sales weren't coming in and he wasn't making the money. Maybe that 15-year-old kid who's hitting the gym that first week, he's not seeing gains, but week 2, week 3, week 4, he starts eating right. He changes up his diet. He's getting more protein. Now he's seeing results. That's when the confidence comes in. And once you get confidence, it's like a snowball. If it rolls down the hill and it amounts and amounts and amounts to more confidence and more gains and just being better overall. I guess that's just the main point. It's just stay the course. And if you believe that doing something is going to benefit you, then stay the course and see it through.
Yeah, yes, I was gonna use it as like, so confidence. People think like confidence is just something that you just have, and I disagree. I think confidence, like you just said, is something that you earn and something that you gain. Because like you said, no one starts out 100% confident at fucking anything. They're all lost puppies in the beginning, right? So like you said, if you go for 3 months, 2 years, 10 years, on that 10th year, you're going to have all the confidence in the world versus when you started in your 3 weeks. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Doing anything.
Amen to that.
Because you earned that. You gained it. It's like, it could be playing guitar, right? If you play guitar for 10 years, you're like, of course, you're not going to be confident. You don't know how to do anything in the beginning. But then 10 years, you probably play every single song you could ever play.
Just shred that shit behind your head.
Shred that shit like fucking Mac Miller behind your head. And then you look like a fucking confident beast. But it's only because you earned
repetition, man.
You repetition.
You showed up more than the competition.
Exactly.
And that's the beautiful thing about life. It's a meritocracy. Those who show up more and those who get the job done more are going to most likely be more successful and are going to be better and are going to be more confident. Now, there's exceptions.
The odds, yeah.
There's obviously exceptions. There's some people who are just,
gifted,
very gifted, talented, whatever it may be. But
but they also grind.
They also
most
grind,
of the time.
but that's an exception, not the rule. The rule is you show up more than the competition, you'll be better than the competition. So, like you said,
that's very true.
It's about experience and it's about repetition. It's as simple as that.
Yes.
It's that quote. We're going into quotes tonight. Who said that samurai I talked about? It's better to practice one kick 1,000 times than 1,000 things once.
I think this Joe Rogan has that like tattooed on him.
Miyamoto
Musashi. Yes, I've heard that before.
If you do one thing you're passionate about and you show up day in and day out, and you master that one thing, no one's going to be able to beat you.
Yeah, say that quote one more time.
I believe, I'm paraphrasing it, but I believe it's better to practice one kick 1,000 times than 1,000 different kicks
one time. Yes. Yes.
Definitely.
I agree.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So,
like, you don't want to be a jack of all trades, but you want to be skilled in a few trades.
You want to be, yeah. And I think even in one trade, if it's something
even
you're very, if you can be the best,
master that one thing.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. They say it takes 10,000 hours to become a master of something, right?
Yeah. I believe that's it, yeah.
So, 10,000 kicks but one kick, you know what I mean? You'll be the best at it.
And that's difficult, man, because it's hard to put your nose to the grindstone when you can't see the finish line. Like, take for example, like, what do you want to take for example? Say like say you want to be like a content creator on social media, right?
Yeah.
And you're posting to 0 followers.
Yeah.
And you want to post.
Starting this from the fucking ground up.
You're posting like YouTube or whatever. And
my bad.
Your first post you throw up, it does 4 views, and you have 0 subscribers. It's really
that sounds
tough
familiar.
to sit there.
It hits.
Well, if you ever posted on YouTube, you've experienced it though. I've experienced it on every platform.
It says negative. It says -4 for us. But we had to owe them views.
No, but that's the thing though. Every single. See, like, even the biggest YouTubers you can think of today, they all went through that. Even these guys like Mr. Beast, they went through it. And they had to have that resolve.
That's my dog. I love Mr. Beast.
They had to have that resolve and that belief in themselves because no one else believed in them. When you look at 0 views, 0 subscribers, they go, oh, this guy's a bum. That's
no one's going to believe
reaction. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But you got to believe in yourself to continue to show up. Post the next one, post the next one, post the next one. And
what else would you be doing, right? That's how I also
If you're passionate about it, what else would you be doing? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just about having belief in yourself and being able to see through to the finish line. I know it's difficult in the beginning, but I mean that's why consistency and repetition rewards. So 100%. You have to just embrace those.
Yeah, because you'll make the time. Like if you really want it, if you're really, passionate about it, it doesn't matter what anybody will tell you. It doesn't matter what they say. Like you'll make time, you'll do it. Like Conor McGregor wanted to be the UFC fucking lightweight champ, dude.
The GOAT, one of the GOATs.
I always bring him up.
He's high on coke a little bit now. He's hurting his legacy. He's got to come back. He's hurting
his legacy, but I can see why.
But he is a billionaire. Let me get into that. He is a billionaire.
Silk sheets? Is that where it's going? Is that the quote?
Silk sheets.
It's essentially silk sheets. It's essentially silk sheets.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because
that's what's going on.
Think about it like this. McGregor had
Legend,
nothing.
Though.
Legend. He's he's the one that got me into the UFC.
Yeah,
he's the face of the UFC.
I'm
a huge UFC fan
because of him. We can talk about that.
His first fight was at TD Garden.
Yeah.
Fucking knocked the guy out.
Well, no,
his name
Seaver. Dennis Seaver, but
is that his name?
Was that on the
I thought it was like Mark something.
Brimage,
look it up,
Marcus
Larry.
Brimage.
Let's look up. Do McGregor
you're talking
Tapology.
about his first fight. Period.
McGregor's first fight in the UFC was at TD Garden.
I'm pretty sure it was in Sweden. I might catch.
Is that true?
I believe it was in Sweden against Marcus Brimage.
Just look up Tapology.
He did fight though in the Garden against Dennis Seaver, the German guy.
Marcus Brimage at UFC
in Stockholm, Sweden, I believe that was.
This says April 6, 2013. McGregor made his UFC debut on April 6 against Marcus Brimage.
Look up Tapology.
All right, you told me to do that last time, and it just was not working, but we'll do it.
Tapology. McGregor. You gotta type in McGregor. He's blowing it. But basically, to get back to the McGregor thing, I brought him up because he was the.
Is this it?
Right, this bottom link right here. The notorious MMA fighter. Go all the way down. Go up.
He did
to his last fight.
I know for sure he headlined the Garden.
All right, amateur fight.
But
let's go up to Marcus Brimage. Go up.
Oh, so now we're just gonna pick the fight so we can say you're right.
Right here.
Brimage
on UFC.
Do I click that?
Yeah, click that.
This or this?
That.
Oh, I'm confident Sweden. I'd put money down on this right now.
I'm interested to see what this is. Oh,
Is it in Stockholm? Sweden?
Stockholm,
Boom,
Sweden.
he got the city too.
He got the
That's double
city
points.
too,
That's
Rand.
fucked.
Seaver was the guard.
When did he go to
Seaver. Dennis
Seaver?
Seaver.
Where is that?
He headlined that one. That's,
Hey,
that's the one.
Who's a bigger McGregor fan? Who's a bigger McGregor
got me.
fan?
I'm
got
not just
me.
a fight fan, man. He like you were saying, he brought me to the sport too. Like that's what I mean.
Nah, he did for me too. Like I'm not the biggest UFC guy.
Yeah, that was one. Dennis Seaver in
But-
Boston. Damn, I'm a bot.
It's hard not to like McGregor though. It's hard not to like McGregor.
Yeah, pretty much the point of that is because of his story. I love his story about how he literally went from rags to riches, about how he was a plumber in Ireland, but just had this passion, wanted to be the best at it, and how, you know, everything kind of just worked out for him. He stayed on the grind, and he literally ran through the entire 145-pound, ran through them,
Ran through, and then he was a
ran
double
through
champ.
became a double champ, and it was like,
Double
Does what
champ
he
does what the
wants.
fuck he wants.
Yes,
it was
sir.
just too easy. It was just too easy for him, dude. It was too easy, and then now he kind of stinks. But like you said,
Silk
I
sheet.
think-
Does he stink though?
Do you-
Does he stink? He's coming back to fight
we'll
soon,
see, we'll
right?
see. But
and he's big body.
You got to think all that money
Big body.
went to his head. No, you got to think.
Yeah, but like before we get, I want to say like every
Double
man,
champ does what the double champ wants.
Yeah, but like also like, or like every man resonates with his story. That's what's dope about him.
100%.
Like whether you're into fighting or not, like the dude was working. I believe his story was he was working plumbing.
He was plumbing
and his
in
parents
Ireland,
were about
yeah.
to like kick him out of the house or whatever. He like quit the job on the spot, came home. His dad beat the shit out of him because he said he was gonna be nothing. He wasn't working or anything because he was training MMA full time and shit like that. And he went all in, like we were just saying, going all
He
in.
went all in.
All in.
Bro, it's difficult
risked it
when
all.
everyone in your like. It's one thing to have friends and people on social media telling you to, you know, shut up, get lost. It's one thing to have your dad beating the shit out of you and have your family not believe you. Like
Yeah,
that,
that's tough.
That's respectable to still like show up day in day out and still believe in the vision.
hits, that
and
hits.
this guy, he didn't like. That's the thing too. He didn't even like just succeed. Like he exceeded all expectations. He's probably, I mean, he is the most famous martial
Yeah.
artist of all time. I mean,
He's the face of the UFC.
He's the most
and he hasn't
rich.
fought in like
He's
like the
like
face of the
2-3
UFC.
years. Yeah, he's still the face.
So like he became everything he wanted to become and more, just because he and it's repetition, consistent. Like what we were saying, it's about showing up.
He's
even
also
when you can't
hilarious.
see the finish line. He is fucking funny too.
He's
dude.
great.
The Twitter post, dude, like the X posts, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
when he's
Great,
coked up
dude.
and he's doing those little voice notes. Those are hilarious.
I know he's great. I love him.
The press
But I-
conference and stuff.
I do need him to get back.
He's
on his
got that
grind.
confidence, though.
I
He's
need
got
him
that
to
confidence.
stop drinking
The
proper
walk.
12.
Yeah.
Stop fucking doing coke.
What were you
I mean,
saying?
he has to promote the brand.
he's a billionaire, man.
He can promote
He
the
can do
brand
what he
without
wants.
drinking it. He could say, "Hey, I'm about to get sober for my fight."
No, I
because-
agree.
Like,
But he's cocky, so
Sugar Sean-
he takes sips.
Sugar Sean smokes weed, and he stopped smoking weed like a couple months before the fight, just to get his fucking shit together.
But
You know what I mean?
that I believe it was Marvin Hagler who said that silk sheets thing because
Yeah.
it's true. It's
When he got that money, that money would fucking
not
corrupt
only
me
does
for
he have
sure,
that
dude.
money, bro, but like he doesn't have to fight again. Like when he was coming
never
up, he had
has
to
to
fight,
fight
right?
again.
He had to fight.
Yeah.
Right.
He is a
He never has to worry about money
he's a billionaire.
ever again.
He's got this thing. He's got multiple businesses, multiple ventures. He's good. His brand is built. He doesn't have to fight again.
He's
Double
good,
champ.
dude. He's
It's like
good.
what's driving him
So that's what I'm saying.
in the
You know
gym,
what I mean?
you know?
He
So
lost the drive. That's the problem.
You got to sort of like. It's interesting to see how he comes back. You got to
How
sort
do
of
you
like
get that drive
reinvent the
back?
purpose. What's the
Yes.
purpose now? You want revenge? You want to come back now? They're doubting you. You know, they were doubting you in the beginning. Now you want to come back. You want to prove them wrong again. Like that's got to be. You got to flip that mindset now
Yeah.
because
Yeah, for
I
sure.
want him to
can't
do it just for
criticize-
him.
Yeah.
I want him to do it just strictly like you said, just to say like, oh, like you want to see this fucking cannon, and then
Yeah.
one touches everyone. That's all I want to see.
I think it's unfair for people like me to criticize him for not doing it because I've never had the type of money and influence he has. And I
No,
don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
how I'd be in that situation. You can't
I would
judge
get,
another
I
man
would
if
get
you've never
so
been in that.
corrupted so easily.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, us three will find out real soon.
Hey,
Hey, we'll
Speak
find
it
out.
into existence.
We'll
Let's
find
go.
out.
We're gonna
Put a C on
find
that's
that.
that confidence.
Put a C on
We're gonna
that.
find out real soon.
No, you're
but-
right. You're right. We'll find out soon.
But like you said, like we don't know how it is, but it's only like human to think like, oh, silk sheets. What's driving him? Like why would he like keep going? Especially all the injuries he's had too.
I mean,
Like,
what would make you
leg
get up at
snapping.
5 a.m. to run in the fucking freezing cold this morning? What would do that for you?
Well, I mean, not only
What
that,
takes the
you're
needle?
getting punched in the face. You're taking elbows, slices across the eyebrow, and stuff like that.
And that's
Yeah.
just part of the job.
What do you think he's
They should do
thinking?
that to Charles, my dog.
But like, what do you think he's thinking? Round 4, championship round, and he's you know, someone's got him full mountain, and they're landing big shots on him from the bottom. He's thinking, I can go back to my family. I got kids now. I got money. I got other businesses and ventures.
Even if you lose that fight, you're still making.
That's what I'm saying.
bread.
But when he was
Yeah,
first
that's
coming
so
up,
true.
he didn't have that mindset.
That's true
though.
because he wasn't getting that money.
So he had to make that. He
had to
had
make
to
that.
prevail. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's going to fold, but I'm saying
But
he's more
it's
adept
easier
to it now.
to fold.
Right?
It's-
Because
you're
now
so right.
This is his
Yeah.
life now.
You're so right.
But
I
he's
mean,
done it, man. He's a success either way. I mean, he's done it.
100%. I look at
he's
Israel.
Mount Rushmore.
Oh,
Mount Rushmore.
in my opinion, people will shit on him because whatever they just like to hate. But
John Jones, greatest.
John
pound for
Jones
pound
is probably the
fighter.
the
Yes.
top
All
two
time.
not to.
Yeah,
Top two not to.
We can agree on that. In terms of influence,
Randy would make him
McGregor,
tap.
McGregor, and
Suckle.
yeah, McGregor's the face of UFC. But
Yep.
I was gonna bring something up. Fuck.
You said some other.
Randy something was it?
Oh, Israel Adesanya.
Hell yeah.
Israel.
You know that fight when it's the last round and he's saying like I'm willing to die in this cage. He's like looking the guy in the eye.
Yeah.
He's like I'm fucking willing to die in here. Like that. Like you, whoever you are on the other side of that, you got to be thinking this guy's fucking nuts. It's fucking crazy.
That dude Gaslam's a warrior though. Too.
But Gaslam is a beast.
He was giving up
Kevin
like
Gaslam is a dog.
5, 6, 7 inches on this dude, and he went 5 rounds with him. I think he might have got the TKO in the 5th round, but he went toe to toe with one of the
That's
baddest
tough.
guys in the world. Adesanya's, I mean, he's
Adesanya's the goat.
he's a little
he's
bit,
up there in
He's
my
a little
opinion.
bit cringe, but he's a
Freak athlete.
Dude.
He's freak athlete.
You can't tell me him hitting the fucking arrow on Pereira was like the coolest thing of all time.
Hey, we can talk about Pereira though. I mean,
Pereira just is now double
You
champ.
talk about double champ.
Not
Double-
currently,
double
but
champ.
double champ.
Double
and he
champs.
called out Israel again, and Israel doesn't even have the belt. How the hell did Sean Strickland get
I'll
the
tell you
fucking
what, the
belt?
Philly shell, man. The Philly shell.
What do you think of Strickland?
in turn? Fighting or the human being?
Both.
I think it's refreshing. He's unapologetic about who he is. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
Do you agree with certain things he says?
Like what? Specify.
That like the shit he says about women.
I mean, listen, bro. Like, I'm not. No.
What do you
I
say
don't.
about women? Fill me in.
Oh, he said a lot of things.
Fill me in.
No, he's listen.
He
I
let's just
would
say
give me one,
like
give me one.
women. It's the typical like women should like shut up and cook in the kitchen type
All
shit.
right. I get the vibe.
No, I don't.
He's basically a skinhead. If we're being, I love his dude. I think as a fighter, he fights so interestingly that it's so great and interesting. It's funny looking, but he as a person is insane.
Don't cancel me, but like, listen, I'm not gonna. Like, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you right now.
I don't care.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I don't agree with what he says, but I respect the fact that he's unapologetic. Because in a world where
have to.
canceling,
That's fine. I
You
agree.
have to respect
you can
that.
cancel people like that. You can, like, this dude is. You can't cancel the dude first off because he fights in the UFC. You can't cancel a dude who fights for. A
I
living.
know that's so
mean,
true.
Mm.
You know, they're punching each other in the face and cracking legs and goshing them. You know, this is the business, and Dana White doesn't care, so he can't get canceled.
Dana White doesn't give
But
a
to
fuck.
But to
Right.
speak like that and put your name out there and say those things that, 99% of people won't necessarily like side with you on and agree with you with, but to still say it and to put yourself out there, I respect it. That takes a certain level of like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Like, I respect
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, I
bottom
love-
line, you gotta respect that shit.
No, 100%. I love Colby Covington. I think
He
he straddles the line well.
But
he
here's the
doesn't
thing
go
about
too
him, bro.
overboard.
Strickland's actually about that. Colby plays a role. Now, you may believe a lot of the stuff he
You're
says, but he
You're
plays,
so right. I said this all the
he
time.
plays a persona.
He
And it's
does-
part of
yeah.
the business. He was going to get cut from the
And then that's when he
promotion.
adopted the Donald Trump.
Right.
Yep.
and that stuff. And again, he's probably a Trump supporter, but would he be doing that stuff if he wasn't fighting the UFC?
I
Probably
totally
not.
agree. He's,
But I still
that's a
think
show.
He's a dog.
He is
He's
a dog.
He's unreal cardio. He's not the
Yeah.
most. If you don't, you like.
He's a
more of
volume
wrestler,
guy.
more of a volume guy.
He's a volume
grappler,
guy.
But like, I like watching him because it's like you watch a guy like that fight for 5 rounds.
He's
it's
a
like,
dog.
He's not tired. He's not even breathing heavy. It's like
You got to respect a guy that will
That's
go
crazy.
toe to toe with peak Usman and take blows from him to the point where he broke his fucking jaw.
two great fights.
But 2 great fights. And listen, I think Colby probably kicks Usman's ass now because Usman's on his way out. But
Those
we'll
knees,
find out.
man.
We'll find out because
Those
Colby's fighting Leon soon
Leon.
and next month for the belt. So I
looking
like
forward to
Leon.
that,
I like
yeah.
Colby. So we'll see about that.
Leon's such a dog.
But you're so
bro.
right. Strickland is actually about it. Colby is playing a character, and I've always agreed with that.
And so that's why I'm saying, like,
Yeah,
I
you respect the
Strickland
grind.
about that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean,
You think McGregor's a character, or do you think that's genuinely him?
no, I think that's genuinely him.
I think it's more him than it's not him, for sure.
His some of his like press conference highlights. You ever watched?
Yeah.
He's in
insane.
Brazil and he's talking about how if this is a different time, he'd be horseback riding through
Yeah.
the favelas, killing
Yeah.
everyone that was not fit to work and stuff like that. It's like crazy lines.
He
and
said
shit
some
like that.
crazy shit.
But like,
The
Not the
Aldo
favelas.
shit
But
was
that's what-
fucking crazy.
yeah,
That was peak, like,
But
in
that's
your
what
head.
like if he doesn't do that and just shows up and fights, dude, I don't know if he's probably not as big of a star he is now. So like
No.
no, it contributes to it.
Do I think he still would have gotten knockouts? Yes. Do I think he would be the face? No.
And then also like we can like it's mental warfare too. Like
Oh,
until you're in a
100%.
cage and fight another guy, like he was like Aldo came into that
100%.
fight very emotional, very tense.
He knew what he was doing.
Right, and
McGregor
he
knew what
was
he was doing.
practicing. You see the footage in the locker room before the fight. He was mimicking
That
what
is
Aldo was
also
going to
insane.
do because he knew he was going to throw the right hand, he was going to slip and land the left.
He knew he was gonna rush
And
in.
it literally happened. So like, and he's big on that whole like
Timing.
law of attraction stuff too, though.
Timing. Yeah, he's
Like-
all about it.
Envisioning stuff and like,
Mystic
Manifesting,
Mac. Mystic Mac,
manifesting.
baby.
but like, yeah, Mystic Mac. But
Mystic Mac.
I'm not like I don't know if I'm big into that word manifesting. I think that just comes through like just again like repetition. Like when you do something so much and you practice something so much, it becomes very easy for you to envision in
Repetition
your
is the physical form of
mind.
manifestation.
Yeah. So
Yes.
absolutely. I don't
The-
think
Yes.
Atmospherical form of manifestation could be true. I don't know.
Like
No.
if you're that focused on something, like
You'll
there's a
attract
good
it.
chance it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I agree.
If
That's
you-
the obsession part.
this
Obsession.
but like a lot of people think manifestation is just sitting there and thinking like, you know, I'm just thinking
I
about
think it,
it's
I
just
achieve
poof,
it.
magic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to show up and do the work, and then you
100%.
visualize and
Hundo
it comes
P.
true. You know what I mean? So but he was big on that stuff too, and that's
Yeah.
why I was drawn to him as well.
He's a G.
I mean, he's an icon, man. So I'm looking forward to his comeback.
Fuck
Yeah. Who's he fighting again?
We don't know, but
I
rumored to
think
be
Chandler is the guy, which makes sense to me.
And are they
It's
like
good
not
fight.
drug testing him or something? Like, what was that
Oh,
story?
the USADA situation. Damn.
He's back in the pool.
He's back in the pool, but that's only for until the end of this year, which is only a month away.
Right.
Which is like what, 3 months? I think he's had like 2 or 3 months.
He
of-
was. Let's be honest. He's probably on shit. I mean,
That's
let's hope he
actually a
wasn't.
great. So
Pro athletes should be allowed, but
well, let's get
Really?
so hold on.
That's a hot
for,
take.
for recovery.
That is a
for
hot take.
recovery.
Okay.
And it has to be
Regulated.
regulated, managed. But
Sure, like you have to be off of that stuff before you're competing again. You believe in that?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, I'm all for that, and I believe that's what
if
he used it
if
for.
it's a
as well.
healing thing, then I like that
He
too.
snapped
Look at-
his leg in half.
He snapped
I
his
mean,
fucking leg. in half.
Right. And it wasn't. And it
And he was
wasn't
just in the gym grinding
Right.
upper body every day.
yeah, that back up there. That
But,
back had its own area code. I mean, come on,
Yeah,
let's
for
not play
real.
around. That boy was doing pull-ups.
He always looks like
Those
this.
lats, yeah. You can see the face too, man.
Oh, for sure.
I look like that after Thanksgiving and Christmas. Start putting weight on the face. You can tell.
the puffy
Yeah.
face, the puffy face.
Well, let's
yeah.
let's get into that now. Let's get into the nutrition,
Oh yeah.
supplemental side of things. So obviously you're big into training. How long you been training for? Would you say?
I'd say probably since I was like 16, 17. Probably like I really took it seriously. Like I was skinny as shit. Like sophomore, junior year.
Okay.
Say senior year of high school, and that summer going into freshman year of college because I needed to, dude. I was playing
Mm.
You were
linebacker in
locked
college.
in.
Like you had to.
Locked
You had to
Yeah,
put on weight.
big weight.
Peanut butter jelly sandwich. Two, 3, 4 pieces of bread, pasta.
Oh my
Carrying around in a
calories,
backpack. You had to.
calories.
These kids don't get it.
Yeah.
You had to put on weight when you're a slow gainer.
How did you figure out at a young age that this is what you needed to like be doing to get what you wanted?
I mean, honestly, just Googling a ton of shit. Like people I looked
Doing
up
your
to
own
and stuff like that.
research?
Yeah, doing my own research. I didn't, like I said, I never had really like a trainer or like a coach.
It was just raw
I never
obsession.
had like an older brother. It was just me like trying to figure it out as I go.
Yeah.
In the
Mm.
gym, in the kitchen and stuff like that. So, I mean, it worked to a degree. I would say it wasn't the healthiest way. I mean, I put on like
dirty bulk.
dirty bulk.
You did
Hell
what you
yeah.
knew
Dirty.
at the time. You know what I mean?
Carrying around gallons of milk, whole milk.
Dude, I love
peanut
that,
butter
bro. I
jellies,
love
like
that.
stack the pieces
And
of
how
bread.
much weight did you end up gaining after doing all this?
I was probably at the end of senior year. I was probably around 180. I went into freshman year like 220, 225.
Holy
Probably
shit.
So you put on 40 pounds in a quick year.
At least 30, I want to say, but I believe it was 180. I was light, man. I was skinny, and so I knew I had because I was going there to play linebacker, and I knew I had to put on weight if I wanted to play in the box. So
Call
Everyone
it
playing the
call
box.
You got to play in the box.
I remember
It's a different
freshman,
animal.
but still, even freshman year of college, I was still getting pancake, man. I was still small. These guys are 315, 330.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like
Big men, big men.
now you got to maintain the weight and make sure you're getting stronger with the weight. You know what I mean? So,
That's true.
I mean, I wouldn't want to do it again. I'll tell you that much. I'm done with the dirty buck. I think I'm
Yeah.
retired from that.
There's definitely a time and place for that because I went through it too.
He had his
like,
thing. Talk about your experience.
So I mean, similar to Tino, bro. Like I was going into freshman year of college, probably 190 probably, but I was playing receiver, so I didn't really need to like be bulking up too much, but I did want to put on weight.
Yeah, just getting that little edge.
And then I got moved to tight end,
Oh man.
and
Jankies.
then I go from 190 to like pushing 250, and it was just
At your heaviest, you were 250, right?
yeah, and it got to the point where it was just like you don't want to eat, like you don't like eating. It's
Yeah.
not enjoyable,
Yeah.
and that's like I can relate to what you were saying because it's like it's
I
too
can't
much. It
relate
gets
to
to be
you
too
guys.
much.
It's a big deal.
Mine was the reverse of you guys.
Cutting.
I was a I don't know if you
He
remember.
was Josh
I was a
Peck.
fat kid in high school.
He was Josh Peck,
I was a fat kid in high school. Josh Peck-esque.
I mean,
and now
you weren't-
he's the new Josh Peck.
I wouldn't consider you fat. Though.
I was fat because I was short.
I mean, I'm not the tallest guy. I can't judge you.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I'm
like,
saying?
when I'm like 185 and I'm 5'5", it's like not great. You're 185 and you were 5. What are you? 5'10",
like
5'11"?
5'11", you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're all 6'5" on your money.
Yeah, I'm
So,
Lil Uzi.
yeah, Lil Uzi.
Don't
Lil
Lil Uzi Vert. No, but my experience was completely different from you guys. I had to essentially stop eating, and it's tough for me because I can eat. I can put down fucking food. My problem is like once I start eating, I can't stop. It's like this weird thing. It's like I have like no self control. But like on the times when I'm good and I'm on my grind and I'm on my shit, I can cut it off. But times when like this past weekend, me and Ty were chilling at you remember Matty Merck?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, shouts Matty Merck.
Shouts, big shouts
We
coming
were
up.
chilling at his crib. He had a little get together, a little kickback, and a bunch of pizza was ordered.
Oh yeah.
And I said,
The
someone keep
Hell
that
yeah.
za away from me, or else
Yeah.
because once I start eating, I'm not gonna stop.
Listen, man.
And everyone's saying like, dude, this, I'm not lying. Like I'm not saying this to be a dick, but this is like the best za I've ever had in a long time. I'm like, fuck. So I tried it, and dude, I had like 7 slices.
It was good, za, but I'm saying
I couldn't stop.
you grind in the gym to the point where like what you eat doesn't really matter.
Right. So that's what people don't understand. Yeah.
I
absolutely.
can afford it, but like since I know my body so well now, it's like I know I'm gonna take a hit today. You know what I mean? Like about you, like you probably got super self-aware about your body. No?
Oh, I'm an Italian through and through, 100% both sides. So I got the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
urge.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to eat.
That's
family
that
members.
100%.
Big eat, big
Everyone we
eat.
eat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if
Big
it's
meals
Thanksgiving,
at
if it's
dinner.
Christmas, we get-togethers every Sunday. Like, it's
The 7 fishes.
this is what we do.
Yeah.
This is what we're known for. We're known for eating. You know, we're known for food. We're known the pasta,
Dude.
the ravioli, and stuff like that. So we're gonna eat. So like, in a way, it helps though, because it's like if I'm working
Fuck yeah.
and I'm in the gym and I'm training, like you said, it sort of offsets in a way. and
Sometimes
stuff
you
like
need that. Sometimes.
Yeah.
A good
And
recovery.
recovery.
Yeah.
Recovery.
that. Yeah. So I mean, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't really follow any like specific plan. I actually
not too strict?
started implementing like fasting and stuff like that.
Intermittent
Whether
fasting.
it be intermittent or just straight fasting.
No shit. I do the same thing. I do intermittent fasting. I've never tried a full fast though.
I'm adjusting to it, so I'm not gonna act like I'm a master of it. I struggle with it, especially like trying to balance that with like training as well.
Yeah, because
Yes,
you
you
need
gotta-
energy. You need
I feel like
something.
I could do a 24-hour fast,
Yeah.
but it would be
Yeah.
the David Goggins mentality.
Yeah,
Like
it's got- you gotta
fucking,
commit to
who's
it.
gonna carry the boats?
You,
I'd be like,
That's-
I am.
you have to like, you can't go into it be like, oh, I'm just not gonna eat today, because as soon as someone brings home the za,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, you fold.
You
You got to go
fold,
into it
yeah.
knowing you're not like okay.
You signed that contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I try to like when I go and lift at the gym now, I try to go in like fasted, because I feel like that helps me focus a little bit more. If I need, maybe get some carbs, take a banana, eat a banana or something, maybe a little bit of peanut butter before I go in, a little bit of fats. But most of the time I try to actually train fasted, nothing in the stomach, and I feel
Isn't
like
that
helps
the
me, like,
the archaic way? Not archaic. What's the term? Like
Ancient?
caveman
Something?
way, because
Yeah,
like
caveman.
when you used to like
Yeah,
hunt,
we're wired
you
that way.
were fasted.
It's-
You only ate what you ate that night, what you caught before.
it's a universal concept too.
Yes,
it's like
yes.
you earn. It's in a way you earn. You get what you earn.
Yes.
Right. So you don't eat.
Input output.
Right. Exactly. So you reward yourself after getting the job done.
Yes.
Instead of before.
And that's just how it was when we were cavemen.
Yeah.
You had to hunt.
They didn't have shelves and stuff like that. They didn't have processed food up in the cabinet.
Exactly.
They didn't have protein powder.
Exactly.
You know, whey protein and shit like that. They had to go out and get their food. So
I know.
the exercise came first, the training came first, and then they feasted.
Yeah, I think this goes back to, I feel like we've talked about this before, about how like I think specifically men need to be like challenged in order to like grow. Specifically men, a lot more so.
Well, I mean, we were just saying earlier about the mind.
Yeah.
How the only way that grows is if you put it through like stress.
Yes.
A lot of people, when you say stress, a lot of people go, they like to, you know, branch it in with like anxiety
and depression,
worry and stuff like that. When I talk about stress, I'm just talking about difficult environments.
Challenging.
What do the Navy SEALs do? How do you become a Navy SEAL? They
Get
fucking drown
comfortable
you.
being uncomfortable.
Exactly. They put you in
Hell
shitty
weak.
situations and they make sure that you don't quit. I mean, that's how you grow as a man. That's how, like we were saying earlier too. It's like that's how you grow a muscle. You don't grow a muscle by lifting 5 pounds. Now, for some, 5 might be heavy, but if you're, I don't know, if you're a bigger guy, you don't grow the muscle by lifting 5-pound dumbbells.
Or if you're 3 years in,
Right.
You got to be doing 30.
You got to push
acclimate
yourself
to the current times.
Yeah,
you got to push yourself,
exactly.
and you got to make sure you're struggling a little bit. That's a universal concept. That applies to not just the gym. It applies to your work. It applies to your
How many books
relationships
you read,
too.
your
gotta,
relationships.
Yeah, you gotta
Yep.
put yourself in difficult situations voluntarily and involuntarily. You're gonna be in difficult situations, and you got to make sure you see through it and you get through it, and that's how you grow. And I do agree with you. Every man should voluntarily do something where
That
they're
challenges
challenging
them.
themselves physically,
Yeah.
mentally, absolutely. Whether that's, I don't know, training MMA, maybe that's going to the gym, maybe that's starting to run,
Yeah.
studying harder for your exams in school. I don't know. Like everyone's different, but for me, it was training.
Something where you can dedicate yourself and put in the fucking grind. Kind of you got to sweat a little bit. I think you got to really, like you said, stress it. You got to stress it out. And there's nothing wrong with stress.
No.
Like a certain amount of stress is healthy. It keeps you alert, keeps you aware. You know, obviously you don't want like too much stress to the point where you're, you know,
You got to know
unhealthy,
how to handle it as well.
But you got to be able to, yes, exactly,
Right.
handle it.
But you know how to handle it by going through it. So
That's,
Only way you're
It's-
gonna handle it is going through it.
Right.
Can't, no way around it. Over and under. Got to go through it.
the only way you solve an equation is by, is by doing it.
getting stressed
Exactly.
out.
You
by
don't
it.
Step
solve
by
an
step.
equation by looking at it and just, wallowing in it and just sitting there and be like, oh, I'm stressed and I'm anxious. You got to do something about it. You know what
step
I mean?
by step.
Take
one
some
foot in front of the
action.
other.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's another thing. People, like you said, you said earlier, people when they see the tunnel and there's no light at the end, people get freaked out. But at the end of the day, it's just 1 foot in front of the other. It's nothing special. There's nothing special about the grind. It's literally just one step.
It's funny how like everything like we've said so far like translates that like it's like everything translates to everything else. Like you're saying about seeing the
Yeah.
light at the end of the tunnel. Like
We connect the dots around
when I
here.
think about that, I think of myself on like a long run, like a 10 or 15 mile run, and I'm thinking of myself being on like mile 2 out of 15. And like my mind, like we're wired to think, oh my, 13 more, man. I
can't
can't
do it.
see
I
myself
can't do
doing
it.
it. Like I'm already
Yeah.
aching and shit like that.
Yeah.
But you sort of have to rewire that mind to just be like,
Just
all
do
right,
it.
1 foot, one
Just do
step.
it.
Let me make sure I get this next step, and the next step, and the next step. Before you know it, you're on mile 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and you're sprinting to the finish line. So it's about, but that's the thing. You got to be able to have the ability to control your mind. Because we're wired, for whatever reason, we're wired we're inclined to run toward worry and stress and anxiety.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I don't know why that is. I don't know, like, biologically why we're designed that way. But you have to have a certain level of control over your mind to where you can shut that switch off and turn on the switch that says, all right, what's in front of me right now? Let me focus on this right now. Let me get the job done right now.
It is a
and
switch.
it amounts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you have to be aware of it, too. Like, a lot of
Self-awareness
people
is
think
key.
that's just the way I am. That's how my mind is. No, you have control over it. You have control over the thoughts in your mind. You control your actions and stuff like that. So you have to, I mean, that's part of just taking back control of your life. And, you can do that in training. You can do that in any facet of life. But
Yeah, before I forget about this, I want to talk about, you know what Hell Week is?
Oh,
Can you
yeah.
pull up on the monitor, Tony Ferguson Hell Week. You know what Tony Ferguson is, right?
Hell Week,
I've seen
Hell
he's been
Week.
training with dogs.
He's been training with Goggins, and
I'm on top of this shit,
dude,
I'm
I saw Doggins post about it today when did I say Doggins? He is a dog. But
He is a dog.
David Goggins, aka Doggins, he posted a thing today about spending the week with Tony, and he said that like
He's
no one
fighting
he's
Summit.
ever trained with. Yeah, he's fighting Patty.
Yeah.
Let's go. That's hype. But he said everyone he's trained with to go through Hell Week, like the only person to ever make it was Tony. Everyone else failed.
Dude, he's hard. as they say.
Tony
He's hard.
Ferguson is fucking hard.
You
It
know
kind
what
of
I mean?
sucks that he's also on like a big losing streak.
Listen,
'cause
man, father time is difficult, especially in that sport.
Father Time is
It's
Especially
undefeated.
that sport.
It's out to get.
Especially that
That's
sport,
right.
bro. You're getting hit in the head for years.
Oh.
Like, that guy's been hit in the head.
Wait, do you need the HDMI?
So I would use that clicker, but
We lost
Um,
clicker.
I don't know where the clicker's at.
Is that clicker behind you, Carm?
That clicker actually is for the heat, so we can turn that up if we want.
You
Wait,
want-
let me see that.
So we got no clicker for the monitor. That's so sad. I wanted to pull this up for the people.
What was it? Just the videos of Tony.
Dude, it was
Goggins going
it
in?
was getting me
That's all, I'll pull
fucking
it up
puking
right
on
now.
the puking on the
Dude,
was it the stair climber?
Yeah, they were doing stair climber.
Lunges, walking lunges throughout Vegas in the heat.
He said he did 3 miles of walking lunges.
Yeah, I mean it's
Ty, 3 miles walking lunges.
that's the beauty about Goggins though. I think at
That's
that
no
point,
joke.
At that point, I think this is what people can't grasp. I think it's beyond
Jesus
physical
Christ.
benefit at that point. I think it's more about just mental.
It's all
like
your
it's
mental.
It's about finishing the job and completing the mission at that point, not quitting. So, I mean that it's useful
Dude.
in fighting.
I forgot what I was gonna fucking bring up about that. Damn, I wish we had it on the monitor, but it's cool. What are you watching?
I don't know. This is not what it is, but it's about the Goggins and
Yeah.
Ferguson.
Well, either way, I want
Talk about a couple dogs though. A couple dogs.
Why did I bring that up?
Hell Week something? Or you just that's what it was called. That's what
Hell, because
Because we were talking about how Hell Week
It's
was the
mental.
only person to ever get through, and Goggins is like that ultimate guy about like putting yourself through like the most horrible, insane shit because it's good for you. There's something like euphoric at the end of it.
he embodies that. Like
Yeah,
to a T. That mentality.
there's
of,
something euphoric about it. and
didn't
I
he
would
run like
agree.
100-mile race like with
He
broken
did 100
legs or
miles
some
in, like,
shit?
38
feet
hours or
and
something
stuff
like that?
It's like yeah.
100
Unbelievable.
miles
He was
in
in
38
he was running
hours.
races like 100-mile races where you're supposed to have a team of 4, and he was in it by himself, running it by himself. Like they were cycling like 4 guys supposed to run 25 each or
Yep.
whatever. He was in it by himself.
Yep.
It was his team.
He
That's
said when he did
fucking
the
sick.
100 miles that once he finished, he had to go straight to the hospital because his body like
Yeah,
was
he
in
was,
shock.
He was
Like, it was like
he's
anemic.
He was like, I mean, he was pissing like
Pissing
he was
blood
like pissing
and
like
shit.
Coca-Cola. Like that's what it looked like. and shit
Oh.
like
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
He said it was the worst pain of his life, but he
Ugh.
said something like it was the worst pain of his life, but it was also like the best moment of his life. Because like you were
That's
just
sick.
saying, there's
he
like this-
finished. Like he still
Dude.
finished all that shit going on.
just like that idea of like meritocracy. Like the harder shit you put yourself through, the more fulfillment there is on the other end.
That's so true.
Like you know what I'm
The high and the low.
But it's like that concept extrapolates to everything in life, though. The harder you work, the more money you make,
Input, output, yeah.
right? The more you're in the gym, the bigger you're gonna be. You know, the more you run, the faster you're gonna be. So it's
Yeah.
like, I don't. Like a lot of people push back and say he's like sadistic, he's a masochist or whatever.
He's definitely masochistic. That's a fact.
Well, it's because
he does it-
but it's because he's obsessed.
they can't think on his level. That's why they're scared of him. They're scared of him.
Absolutely.
But
he
people
says that.
love him. People love him.
No,
I love
people
him.
love
I
him,
think
but
he's
then-
fucking hysterical.
I agree, but then the people who don't love him are scared of him.
I guess you're afraid of what you can't understand,
Yeah,
right? You
absolutely.
can't understand that this guy would kill himself running 100 miles
Yeah.
just because. Just
But
because
at
he wanted to
the same
challenge
time, I think
himself.
we're all wired different, and I think
We're all different. We're all different.
I think
But
also at the same time, I don't think anyone can tell me that guy, what he's gone through personally, has served millions of others. And to me, that's a
dude.
great accomplishment in and of itself. Like,
Facts,
I bet
bro.
people.
so a lot of people say, why would you do that? You know, why would you do these things? Was it just to tell these stories? No. But because of these stories he's telling now and because of these lessons that he's being able to teach these people, especially young men today,
Yeah.
you can't tell me it's not helping millions of people.
I think it's
And
fantastic.
it's helped 3 people
I
right
think
here.
It's
Has it not?
fantastic.
Has
It
it not
has.
inspired 3 people here?
He fucking inspires
I
the
mean-
shit out of me.
Hey,
So-
like we said earlier, you get those messages from those young kids,
That's
whatever.
what it's about, dude.
Yeah, you're doing
I
the
mean,
same thing.
Yeah,
It's-
unbelievable.
I mean, it's in whatever you do. That's why I don't like whatever you do. Make sure you love it. Number one. Number two, it's got to be helping someone outside of yourself. Whether that's someone you love, whether that's a family member, a friend,
Mhm.
someone you don't know on the other side of the earth. Like that has to be part of the purpose. You know?
Got to be.
I totally agree.
So-
Got to be.
Making
mean-
someone laugh, giving someone hope. You know, whatever it is.
I think Will Ferrell said, not Will Ferrell, I'm an idiot. Will Smith said something like, if you aren't making other people's lives better, then like you're wasting your time.
Man, Will Smith, he's been getting dragged, huh?
Shouts Will Smith.
Shouts
Come on the
Damn.
pod. Come on the pod. We know you watch him.
Damn, should we talk about that real quick? I've been wanting to
We
bring
can
up
talk
about the how cap was that line by J. Cole when he said that Jada and that Will love.
Oh man,
Am I right? Because Jada's kind of, I don't know what's wrong with her. Why is she like tweaking? She's big tweaking.
Aged like
She's
some
a see
milk,
you
man.
next Tuesday.
Yeah, she kind of is being like, what's good with this? Like, I don't know. Like the whole part about when Will slapped Chris Rock and she said,
my wife's name.
yeah,
Don't you fucking know?
yeah, I don't know.
she was like, I'm
Bad
surprised he
move,
called
man.
me his wife. Like what?
Yeah.
What
She-
the fuck?
Yeah,
Where's
they-
that
Bad,
coming
bad
from?
time to embarrass yourself, and then she's doing that. You know, it's a
Jesus.
that had to hit him. You know,
Jesus.
that had to humble him a little bit.
That
I
had
know
to
he's a
hit
big time
differently.
celebrity making good money, but you know, I think every man can relate to when you're getting disrespected like that. Especially like I don't think
That's
anyone
bad.
can relate to that level. He's on a world stage, but like men who aren't celebrities and making that kind of money, they're going through
Yeah.
that too.
You're right.
Just
You're
behind
right.
the scenes. So
You're right.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to go through it in front of the entire world though.
Dude.
But here's a little conspiracy on that whole thing. People
Oscar
look at
views.
no, like Oscar views. Yeah, that could be part of it. They're
The
actors.
views of the Oscars were low as
They're
fuck.
actors.
They're actors.
So like
You're talking about the slap. It was staged.
like the slap, like that whole interaction.
Their
There's a little
their views went up by like 100% apparently after that happened.
I wouldn't doubt it, dude. At this point, the world's a stage, man.
The
Some
world
of
is
these,
a
some of
fucking
these motherfuckers,
stage.
man, they're slick. Let's just put
Yeah.
it that way. Some of these people have money and power and control,
They're
right? They're
slick.
slick. They do things that the common person doesn't know about, right? And they get away with it. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past it. I don't put myself past any conspiracy. I'm open, like you said. I'm open-minded to
Open-minded to
everything. So,
anything.
Hell yeah.
I agree. I want to talk about. Have you ever trained martial arts at all?
I haven't, but I plan on doing it.
Would you like to?
I would. I actually would love to, at the very least, compete like in an amateur fight, like at the very least.
Really?
Okay.
Because
That's pretty.
I think every man, whether it's sparring or whatever, you can play football, man, and you can play baseball, and you can play, tennis.
Any
So-
sport.
But when you're wrestling and grappling and have another dude trying to take your head off and like render you unconscious, it's different. Like there's
That's-
something so like
A lot different.
there's something so just ancient about that in a way too. That like our ancestors were doing this shit thousands of years ago. They were wrestling, they were fighting, they were gladiators in a coliseum. Like they were doing this.
They would fight to the death.
And yeah, it's
Literally.
obviously not that today, but it's related.
Modern day.
Like another man trying to take your head off, another man trying to render you unconscious. Like that's something that every man should experience, I think. In some, whether it's an amateur fight, MMA, gym sparring, whatever it may be, I think it's good. Like it's a challenge, bro. It's a challenge, and
I
it's
agree.
scary as shit too.
I agree.
And
I think you should
gotta run
do
the shit you
jujitsu.
fear.
I think you'd
definitely
be
want-
good at it.
I've had knee issues. I'm trying to get myself right there. I popped my shoulder out, had dislocated
Yeah.
that.
It's
And so I've
risky
been-
on the joints for sure.
I've been trying to just strengthen everything around that, but I absolutely want to do it, and I absolutely want to get into it. And I don't just want to get into jiu-jitsu. I want to get into it all. Like I want to get into kickboxing. I want to get into.
The sparring is fun. Trust
Hell
me.
yeah.
I do like the stand up. It's hard though to like unless like you live a lifestyle where you can kind of take shots to the head and be okay with it. Definitely train the sparring. I personally like jiu-jitsu way more.
Yeah.
I think like you said, it puts you in that like you can roll all the time and like if you're in a basketball, you just tap, start over.
Absolutely.
So like if you're ever feeling like you got injuries, because trust me, I would get banged up too, mainly finger injuries, and I would just if anything was around there, I would just like tap. And everyone's cool. They just like say, hey, like I got this injury, and like they're like, yeah, we'll go like 70%. You know what I mean? Still get that work in, still get that challenge, but like not to the point where you're killing yourself. That's why like I like jiu-jitsu is like you can roll, you can train whenever, however. Sparring, you can't really like train unless you're Sean Strickland. You can't really train sparring.
That's that guy's training regimen.
That's
it.
all. Apparently, all Strickland does is spar, and
That's all
apparently
he
he goes
does.
100 all the time, and that's hard because. But apparently they test.
one way to do it.
They gave him like a mouth guard that like measures how much you get hit. I don't know if you saw this.
That's kind of cool. No, I
But
haven't.
apparently, like he rarely got hit when he would spar.
Well,
Very rarely.
I tell you, that's how he beat Adesanya though. That Philly shell, roll with the punches.
the Philly shell.
Philly shell.
It's that Floyd Mayweather.
Dude,
shit,
he fights like
what I mean?
this.
But he
got
rolls
his
his
hands-
shoulders and he. Sort
I
of
know
like,
he's like this.
Don't
he
get hit,
manages
don't get hit.
distance and stuff like that. And even a
It's
guy like
crazy.
Adesanya, who I believe he had a reach advantage on him, couldn't touch
100%.
him.
Yeah, he couldn't touch him. Dude, he rocked Izzy.
But Strickland's cool. But yeah, like you were saying, dude, about the jiu-jitsu stuff.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I love about that too is like any of that stuff. It's mano y mano. It's like 1v1. There's no team. There's no coach.
It's mental as fuck. Like you said, when like you're getting smothered and like someone's choking you out,
you got to figure out how to get out of it.
You got to think like, fuck, like how do I get out of this? Yeah, how do I fucking escape?
You know, if I'm a running back and I'm trying to, you know, hit the B hole, I need my guard to make sure he opens that shit up in the tackle. You know, I need to rely on my teammates. Nothing
If
wrong with
someone's
that.
coming you like
sports.
a bullet, how are you gonna evade that? You know, how are you gonna go through that? You know, like, what's your route?
Fighting is mano y mano though. It's you win because of you, or you lose because of you.
That's true. That's very true.
That's like the beauty of it.
You can't blame it on anyone else. That's like full accountability, which is why I think like at the end of every fight, everyone just shakes hands. You know what I mean? Whether like you were fucking
they respect
talking the worst shit of all time, like you gotta show respect to anyone that steps in with you. 100%. I agree with that. But yeah, jiu-jitsu, I think is something. I think you have the mentality for it, and I think you have the build for it. You know, you got long limbs and you're strong. You want to be like
but to his point, he could do any of them. Like he's got the mentality
100%.
And the build for
the beginning is gonna suck, of course, dude. I would get my ass beat by like 14-year-olds when I started.
Yeah, and I'll go in with that mentality, bro. I'm confident in myself, but I'm not cocky by any means. I've never been like that. I was actually insecure growing up, bro.
Dude,
wicked, and I still am to this day, like wicked insecure.
Trust me.
I try to.
That's
this
normal,
is why I
though.
train,
That's normal.
you know what I mean? And it's why
They become your strengths.
Absolutely, but I would absolutely walk into an MMA gym and know I'm probably the worst guy in there. Like I have that sort of self-awareness.
Dude, I would
ability
go
to realize that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
I would go after 4 years and still feel that way.
Right. And so
You know, I was grinding. I grinded for mad long.
I mean, but
I would still get my ass beat.
But again, that's not anything to do with you. That's just the process.
Yeah.
Every single.
Because everyone you face next is always better than you. Like when I got my blue belt, like everyone started training much harder. Either everyone started training harder on me, or I was just training better with better people.
Can we give a little shout right now? Where do you go? Defensive edge.
I did go to DE. I also went to Mau Mau. Shout out to both of them.
Mau Mau.
Mau Mau in Medford.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out Mama.
Shout out to both of them. Shout out to both of them.
Man, I gotta get into it. I've had a few buddies talk about it. It's one of those things I've delayed. I will admit I've delayed it. I've been trying to get. It's tough balancing. Like after sports,
it's hard.
When you're playing a sport, you know how you want to train and you know how you can curate your workouts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To get your body and your mind right to do it.
Yeah.
When you're out, you're sort of like I want to run marathons. Like I want to continue to lift relatively heavy in the gym, and it's like, but now I kind of want to get into MMA. You know what I mean? So I have to.
Yeah, you don't
it's
have
a little bit different. No, but I do.
I just think
it's
a good experience.
I do want to.
I mean?
Absolutely. I do absolutely want to. And I think the stuff that I preach, I absolutely should put myself through something like that as well.
I mean, I don't think anyone would regret like learning how to like defend themselves either.
No.
But just for the workout, just for the experience, just to be in the most uncomfortable positions of all time and like still just like get through it is pretty. It's pretty. I would say, yeah, it's like David Goggins. It's like euphoric. It's pretty interesting. Like
it's like that's literally the theme of this. What we've been saying this entire time. That's what MMA is. It's putting yourself in difficult situations,
challenge yourself,
and figuring out how to get out of it.
Yeah,
that's the issue. The reason why a lot of like these mental health issues nowadays is like everyone's going through shit. Like it's inevitable. You're gonna go through.
Everyone's
shit.
got demons.
Yeah,
everyone does. But instead of telling people to figure out how to get through it, they tell people to wallow in it and sit there and just think and think and think and think about it. You want to get something fixed.
Or take this medication.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or distract them or do something like that, or buy my fucking course or something like that.
Yeah,
that's not actually going to apply action to their life.
Yeah, you're right.
The only way you solve
take advantage
is by looking in the mirror, taking full accountability, saying that's stoicism as well, saying this is my fault, and because it's my fault, I'm going to find a way to solve it. So I'll be the problem and the solution. That's how you have to look at it. I've been trying to study stoicism and stuff like that, and it's hard in this world. It's very like you're trained to be emotional. You're trained to give that like first reaction to everything, to judge everything by its cover. But like, I think if men, especially, and all people, if you can be more
handle your emotions,
control your emotions, think before you speak and stuff like that. Even something like that. You're always going to make the better decision, the better choice in life if you're in control of your emotions rather than if you're allowing your emotions to control you.
You're so right.
It's just a truth,
Big facts,
you've got to be able to, again, like put yourself in those situations, deal with those situations, be familiar with those situations in life, and you'll be more adept to handle them. So,
have you seen The Sopranos?
I have, yeah.
So a big, I would say, theme of The Sopranos is like, he always brings up the strong silent type. You've heard him, Tony, say that, right?
Yeah.
Like what happened
Rest
to
in
this,
peace, by the way.
dude. R.I.P. to James
big
Gandolfini.
R.I.P.
Moment of silence.
Thank you to the live crowd, buddy.
The big G.
Dude, he's a fucking G. But a big theme of that show is obviously Tony goes to therapy, right?
Right.
It's a big mental health piece on his part where he's kind of struggling with being that stoic, strong, silent type, as well as like how, like instead of, because obviously we see his emotions get the best of him and he freaks out and then
Every now and again.
and then passes
A little
out.
bit.
You know what I mean? Like he goes through some crazy shit, and so it's all about that him learning how to control himself. You know what I mean? Essentially,
You know, like there's like a fine line too. I think a lot of men like we're taught to like just hold on to our emotions, and I think to a degree that's good. I think you need to be like the stoic. You need to be the sound decision maker, and you need to be the stoic individual that can, you know, move a moment's notice and make the right move. But I also think that you can't just allow those emotions to sit there. You have to address them,
Yep.
and you have to know how to handle
Exercise
them
those
when they
demons.
emerge, right?
I agree.
And so I don't think the solution to a lot of the mental health issues in society today is just talking about them. I think it's actually implementing action. It's trying to
Yeah.
dig deeper. Like what are your like you got to have some sort of hobby, passion, interest.
Yeah.
Like what can we do? What can we do to make sure you're not just dwelling on it 24/7?
What could
'Cause,
you
like,
get physical with? You know what I mean?
You become what you feed as well. Like
Yeah.
if you're constantly thinking about your stress and anxiety and worry and stuff like that, you're engulfed in it. You know what I mean? If that's all you think
Yeah.
about and that's all you see, you're gonna be depressed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you're waking up at
Facts.
1 in the afternoon and you're playing video games all day and eating Lay's chips and Doritos and bullshit, no shit, you're gonna be depressed.
Yeah.
You know, 1 + 1 = 2. But if
Facts.
you're chasing something you're interested in, right, and you're waking up early and you're hitting the gym, and you're chasing a passion, whatever it may be, you're making a little bit of money. Now all of a sudden, no shit. Now you're gonna start to feel a little bit better, feel a little bit more happier. You're gonna have a little bit more confidence, self-esteem.
Yeah.
It's
It's self-care.
That's-
It's all
it's-
self-care at the end of the day.
It's self-care
Self-care.
at the end of the day, but they masquerade, like they make self-care out to be just sitting there and like talking about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Self-care is different for everybody.
I think it's more
Yeah.
than talking about it. I just don't think, to me, that's just venting. I don't think venting solves any problems.
Venting could make it worse.
make it worse.
it's
Like I
just
said,
more in your head.
It's like putting logs in the fire.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
gotta find a way to extinguish the
I
fire.
never thought of it like
you know what
that.
I mean? So you can't just continue to talk about it. At some point, you have to attack it and dismantle it.
Yeah,
yeah.
because here's the thing. This reminds me of Do you remember this? You know Yeonmi Park, the girl that escaped from North Korea.
I do. I've heard of a story. Yeah.
So, before I say this, I'm an advocate for therapy. I feel like if you need to talk to someone, go do that. I would always want anyone to. I just think everyone should have the choice to do whatever they want. If they feel like that's best for them, then go for it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a big advocate for taking care of your health, whether it's therapy or not. But to say so, she said something I think on the Joe Rogan podcast where they were talking about therapy and stuff and how they wanted her to go to therapy when she moved to the States because of the traumatized thing she went through, and she said something like, because she didn't like know what therapy was, so she was like, "What is therapy?" And they just explained what it was to her, and she was like, "So like I go to someone, complain about my problems,
But yeah,
and like
I've seen this clip before.
and like keep like yeah like
It's
just
like
keep bringing
people-
up my problems."
People, here's the thing, like, and again, I don't want to come off as like an asshole saying
No,
it.
no, no, no.
Because,
we
like-
support therapy.
Like, again, everyone's different, and if like that helps you and that keeps you from like doing harm to yourself and others,
Then we're all for
then
it.
you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But there's kids in Africa that don't even like. There's kids in other situations in the world that we don't realize because we're in a little snow globe here in America.
Yeah,
That they're going through shit,
yeah,
and you're stressed out over your 9 to 5 because your boss is mean to you, and these kids, they're gonna die if they don't get a meal tomorrow.
I know. That is crazy.
And I know that sounds
Don't take it
harsh,
too
It's
serious.
all
you know
perspective,
what I
bro.
mean?
but it's perspective. At the end of the day, these kids don't know
Yeah.
what therapy is. They have to show up. They have no other choice.
Yeah.
They can't. There's
Right.
no. They can't talk about it.
That's basically what she was
there's no
saying.
talking
Is
to be
like,
done. It's like you got to
Yeah.
find a way to. These kids are surviving out there. That's the issue with society. There's that quote. I'm gonna butcher it, but something about how hard times create strong men in the cycle and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, you know, weak times create weak men.
Strong men create
That whole
soft
thing.
times. Soft times create hard times. Hard times create soft men.
Yeah. It's like too
Or-
much comfort is
Something like that.
Something like that. I butchered it too.
too much comfort isn't good. And that's the
Yeah.
thing. There's like a balance there. I'm not saying we should all be like starving ourselves. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that's why, like we've been saying, MMA, training,
You want an
running,
equal and
stuff like
opposite
that.
reaction of challenge with comfort.
Voluntarily putting yourself in difficult situations, putting yourself through obstacles and challenges, because you're already going to face obstacles and challenges involuntarily, because this is life. And
Yeah.
life
Facts.
throws shit at you that you're not going to expect.
It's ups and downs.
You know, your
highs and
family
lows.
lows.
gets
Yeah.
cancer, you get sick, you get hurt, you get injured, some shit happens, you know. You got to learn how to deal with it. So you might as well prepare yourself for those moments by voluntarily putting yourself through difficult situations.
Yeah.
And so
It
these
makes
kids-
all the other shit easier to
Yeah.
go through.
And so,
Well-
like, that girl you're talking about on the podcast, on Rogan's
Yeah.
podcast, she didn't, when she was living over there in those situations, she didn't have a choice.
She didn't have that.
She didn't have to
yeah.
voluntarily put herself through anything because she was involuntarily living a difficult life. And you're hardened by that in a way.
Oh,
now, you
for
carry
sure.
a lot of trauma. I'm not saying what you went through was good by any means, but I'm saying it hardens you. It makes you mentally stronger. It makes
Yeah.
you mentally tougher. And I think in the end, I mean, isn't that like, I feel like that's a universal purpose for all humans, to be better. Like,
Yeah.
to be better, like you come into this life as a child and you come in as a child, finish as an old man or whatever, old woman. The goal is to be better, to be tougher,
Yeah.
to be stronger, to be more mentally adept, be
That's
more
true.
intelligent, whatever it may be. And so I
Don't
think-
want to be worse.
So if the ways to
Yeah,
be better is
exactly.
to put yourself through shitty situations or to involuntarily go through those shitty situations to get stronger, and so be it. It's a cycle of life. You have to do it. You have to get it done. No complaining. You know, less complaining and more doing. So
100%.
Hell yeah, bro. I love that.
I think.
Love the mindset.
Yeah, pretty much what she was just saying is like, why would I want to keep complaining about my problems? Like, why would I want? Like, I just want to forget about it. I want to move
Yeah.
on, and forget about it. And yeah, I think that there's merit to that too. I think like some things in life you just gotta fucking walk away from. I guess you just gotta move on from. Like certain things, like
Leave it in the
you
past.
can't-
bro.
yeah, exactly.
Leave-
Certain things you can't just keep bringing up.
leave in the past, but also just go back to Goggins as well. Like, leave in the past, but also use the shit that happened to you in the past. Like, if you guys know his story
That's a
about how
fuel,
he
yeah.
was, his dad beat his mom. His dad was gonna kill him and stuff like that.
Yeah, and he was overweight.
He was overweight. He
Yeah.
was bullied. He was racist. You know, they were racist to him back in Indiana and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Grew up in one of the most racist towns in America at that time. Went through all this shit, and he doesn't hate these people that did it to him.
It's
I don't
just
even
how
think
they're
he
raised.
says he hates his dad, who
Yeah.
you know, like wanted to kill his mother, wanted to kill him. He just said he almost said it like he was grateful it happened, because he can use it now. He can
Ooh.
use that energy. He
This-
can use
this
that as
brings
motivation.
up a good
He
thing.
can use it as inspiration. So like you flip again, you have control over your mind. A lot of people would look at that situation and say, you know, poor me, pity me. Look at my life. I can't
Yeah.
become anything. He flipped it and said, I'm going to use this to separate myself from the rest of the competition. And I use this every single time I go out for a run, every single time I'm training, every single time it's early in the morning or late at night and I don't want to run. I remember that shit.
Yeah.
Remember my dad beating the shit out of me. Remember not knowing if I'd be alive. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You use that stuff to motivate you. So sometimes you don't just leave it all in the past. You
Yeah.
pull. He calls it like the vault.
Draw from strength.
You
Yeah.
pull it out of the vault at times
The
to use
vault.
it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think
so
that's
true.
something. I think it's. I've used it myself personally. Like certain things. Again, all personal experiences. Some worse than others, but like everyone can use it. Everyone's gone through something in their life that they can use to better
Yes, sir.
themselves and to better others. So
Well, let me
Yes,
get
sir.
both your takes on this thing I just saw recently. I just saw this thing recently that said, I don't wish for a time machine to go back and like fix all my wrongs, because if those wrong, like if whatever I've been through didn't happen to me, I wouldn't be who I am today. Literally, I would be a completely different person if everything went right or whatever. If I went back and changed anything that made me who I am today, I'm not the same person. And I was like, damn, that really like hit me for a second, because I was like, fuck, like, because I feel like I've been through some shitty things, and like it was a struggle. Life was a grind for sure. Everyone has. And like I look back at those and like I'm like, damn, I wish these things didn't happen. But at the same time, I think about that quote and I'm like, damn, maybe like I needed those things to happen.
You might still be Josh Peck.
I might still
know?
be Josh Peck, dude. I might exactly like certain things could have happened that like maybe if I changed, like would I be where I'm at now? No, I wouldn't be. I would be a completely different person. So like, what's your guys' opinion on that? If you want to go to change back anything in life, you wouldn't be who you are today.
No, I agree completely with that, because I think we talked about, it was another quote on a different pod, but we said, like, what you go through, what was it? What you go through makes you you, but it's like you, I don't know. It went along with what you're saying, and
Yeah.
it's like no one is going to be better off.
No one is better at being you than you. Something like that.
That's pretty much what
so
it
the
is.
shit
like,
you've been through is unique to you and you alone. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So like no one else
Exactly.
can relate to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's one thing I've trying to remind myself of that. Like, this is why, especially if you're going to be a content creator or anything like that on social media and put yourself out there, a lot of people want to copy and they want to try to be like other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
I think the best thing you can do is to just be yourself, because there's no one that is better in this world, in this universe, that has ever lived, that lives now, or ever will live, that is better at being you than you.
Than you.
hell
Because
yeah,
you're the only
bro,
one.
Hell yeah.
You're
So like
one of a
you
kind.
like if you just be yourself authentically, you in and of yourself is a brand, is a business.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're unapologetic about it and you are who you are, because no one can copy that. They can try to mimic it.
Yeah.
Can try to mimic it. You know,
Won't
like,
be the same though.
it won't be the same. You see guys
The
trying to do the
same.
hook shot like Kareem. There's only one hook shot. You know what I'm saying? Like there's only one.
Facts.
So, but yeah, getting back to that point about how like your past absolutely shapes you. I believe in God, and I believe that to a degree everything happens for a reason. I do believe in fate to a degree, but I also believe in free will. I think it's a healthy balance, and it's a mixture that I can't explain because I'm human, and I think God
Yeah.
understands it far better than me. But
For
I
sure.
wouldn't change anything. Like I always think about stuff like my before the summer going into my freshman year of college, I'm the healthiest, I'm the strongest I've ever been. My numbers are all up, I'm good to go. I tear my shoulder, dislocate my shoulder in an all-star game that I didn't have to play in, like a low-level all-star game that was optional. Didn't want to play in it, had my family pushing me to play in it, and I still think about it to this day because it messed up my college career and it fucked me up and it fucked up my strength and stuff like that. But then I look back and I think like maybe like that's like I needed
That
that.
was supposed to happen to you.
It gave me an edge, like not just in football but in everything in life. Like I felt like I was behind. It made me work harder in the gym, made me stay longer, made me watch more film because I knew I wasn't as strong as the opposition or whatever. So like these things that, and I don't know, maybe I'm just flipping my mindset, because I could look at it and say, poor me.
What was me? Yeah.
You know, woe was me, pity me. Oh, I had a bum shoulder. That's why I sucked.
But maybe I needed that.
But you can use it again as fuel, and you can use
Yeah.
it as energy. And like,
Damn.
I do believe things
Facts,
happen
bro.
for a reason. Like I do believe in God, and I do believe like. Now here's the thing: I don't believe God determines how you react to these things. I think some of these things were predestined in a way,
He gives you
but I
opportunities.
think that's where free will comes into play.
Yeah.
How will you react to
Yes.
this? Will you complain and say, "Why God? Why me?" Or will you say, "Thank you, God. I'm gonna use this now. Thank you." Like that's the
Hell
difference.
yeah,
That's
bro.
where free will comes into
Changing
play.
your perception.
That's why I say it's like a mixture.
Yeah.
I can't really pinpoint how much of it is free will, how much of it is fate.
Yeah.
But I do believe like things like that, they happen for a reason. And so I wouldn't go back and change anything. I mean,
Facts.
Yeah, it's
No,
like
I agree. It's a good way to look at it.
it's like you don't make mistakes, you just learn lessons.
Yeah.
Or you don't have setbacks, you just learn
it's a
lessons.
classic.
Well, have you
Yeah.
seen Game of Thrones?
Absolutely.
So
I was late to it, but I loved it, man.
I was late to it as well. I
Great
just
show.
watched the whole
It was
thing
actually
like
kind of
last
nice
year.
watching it like outside of all the hype. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Because you got to go at your own pace. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
binged the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
It was sick.
Yeah.
But so then you'll know when Bran Stark says to Jon Snow, "You're right where you're supposed to be." Do you remember that moment?
Always.
Absolutely.
When
That
he's
moment.
talking about becoming like the when he's
This is like the
when he
last
finds
episode.
out. Okay.
So last episode when everything already happens and Jon goes to
He's
Bran
going-
and apologizes because Bran got kidnapped because he left Winterfell and all
Yep.
this shit. And he was like, "I apologize. I wasn't there for you. You needed me."
Yeah.
And Bran looks at him and says, "Like, don't apologize. You were right where you were supposed to be."
Gotcha.
And, like, basically saying to him, everything went the way it was supposed to go because he's like the three-eyed raven, so he can like see shit.
Yeah.
So he's like, it was only supposed to go that way.
Yeah.
Because there's only one way. You know what I mean? And like, so I think this will be a good topic for both of us to talk. All of us to talk about. So obviously, I know you said you believe in God, you believe in faith. I'm not too sure where I stand yet with that. I'm still figuring it out for myself. But I did just discover this kind of new thing recently. Not a new thing, but new to me, called determinism. Have you guys heard of determinism?
I have not. No.
Yeah, fill me in.
So determinism is pretty interesting. It's a little more. It's not like it doesn't like disprove like faith or anything like that, but it determinism is the idea that like it's not fate, but essentially everything is predetermined, and that there's kind of not always free will. Like, I'll have to like look it up better to get a better definition for you guys. But
So is it like we talked about, like it's in the coding, like it's kind of like a joke when we say it, but like
everything's
let's read
predetermined
this.
in a way.
The doctrine that all events, including human action, are ultimately determined by causes external to the will. Some philosophers have taken determinism to imply that individual human beings have no free will and cannot be held morally responsible for their actions. Well, that's a little different.
I don't know about that. Morally responsible.
I think that would be tough to. Yeah.
It's oh, this guy's an evil person. He kills everyone. It's like,
well,
oh, he was meant to be like that.
Right.
Yeah, let's
Which there might
let's
be
not
some
talk about
truth.
that last part of that definition, but I want to talk about it's the thesis that all events in the universe, including human decisions and actions, are causally inevitable. That I like that definition better. So it's essentially like everything beside you, you know, your body, like both philosophically and scientifically, all your particles, all the fucking thing about the earth, as well as philosophically, you know, things are already kind of inevitable. Things are going to occur that you can't like.
And no matter what you do,
sometimes
it's gonna
majority of
happen.
the time, yeah, like it's just gonna occur.
So like,
It's not a. I don't think it's a perfect science, but I think like.
but I think in a way, I think like I'm a Christian. Right? I believe in
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So like, in a way, we sort of believe that in a way too. We believe there's certain things.
There's
Like,
a
when you read
path.
the Bible, there's revelations and
Right.
stuff like that. I think it's just really like how much of it is
Yes.
fated. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like me hitting the table. Like I don't know if that was fated. Like I just did that myself. You know what I
Right.
mean?
So you.
But
think.
you being on the
But
pod,
that's what I'm saying. Like you don't.
So you think.
You don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
But like I think like this is. I don't think God concerns himself with me doing that. I think he's got more concerns than me doing little things
So
like
we-
that.
but he did put you on the
we
pod
think.
for a reason.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
But
exactly.
do we know though? You,
You know?
you know what I'm saying? So like,
What if he
here's-
wanted us to have this conversation right now?
Definitely.
That's what I'm saying though.
Because here's how
I don't know, and that's
Yeah.
So where I find a peace with this is like, if I believe in God, and I'm a human, and He created me, then there's no way in hell that I'm supposed to understand what He thinks,
No,
what He sees,
we
how He
never
views
will.
the world.
We never will. The higher power.
So
is
I
a higher
put my
power for
faith
a
in
reason.
Him, and I say, you know,
I agree.
So that's how I view it. No, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you that there's some sort of like,
Yeah.
that fate plays a role.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we believe.
I don't know
in
if this
that.
is necessarily fate, but it's along those lines. Yeah.
What was it again?
Determinism. I like this definition where it's the thesis that all events in the universe, including human decisions and actions, are casually.
Oh, so you're
inevitable.
saying like even the smallest actions.
pretty much
Almost
every
like-
single thing is going
Like,
to
like if
occur.
So
Like you're right where you're
so
supposed
it's like
to be.
everything's like
Everything
a-
is supposed to happen.
So like essentially like our existence is like a play. It's like a stage, and someone's already scripted
Everything's
it.
kind of choreographed a little
Me
bit.
rubbing
a
your
little
shoulder
bit.
right now.
That was part of the plan.
That was part
That
of
was
the
on the
plan.
script.
Hold on. Well, let me.
It's in the script, in the
Have you-
coding. That's what we say. It's
Have
in
you
the
guys
coding.
seen this show called Devs? DEVS.
I have not. No, I've seen
Dude.
the Truman Show. That's somewhat related.
Truman
Yeah.
Show is
Somewhat related.
fucking amazing. Truman Show is a little bit different, but that's the idea that like
Yeah.
the world is essentially controlling
stage,
you.
right.
It's a stage, yeah. Like everything is scripted.
Yeah.
And you're just
And I think-
playing a character. He had no free will. He had no free will in that.
But I also
He
think
couldn't leave the island.
he couldn't. But like when you say free will, he could do stuff like menial things, because that like it's hard to define
But that was
free
part.
will.
That's what they allowed him to do. If they didn't allow him to ride his bike around, he wouldn't be riding his bike around.
True. But he didn't, just because he had a bike didn't mean he had to ride the bike around though.
Right. But that's because they gave him that option. If they wanted to, they could have restricted every little thing he did.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
Until he figured it out.
But I also think like that was like a foreshadowing in some sense of like,
Yeah.
obviously not.
100%.
I don't think like we're all living in a Truman Show, but I think to some
We could
degree
be.
we could be.
We could be.
But to some degree, I think we're like,
We have a little more control.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely certain things that are manipulated. I would 100% agree, but This determinism fact, though, is like it's bigger than that. It's bigger than all of it. It's like
So you're saying like the big actions are like bound to happen.
bound to happen.
So like
Everything is bound to happen. Like you're right where you're supposed to be. Like it had to go the way it went
do you
because it was determined that way.
do you
Okay.
believe then that like who determines it? Do you believe it's God? Do you think it's an entity?
I
that's,
believe in a higher power in this
Okay.
universe, 100%. I believe that there is some type of higher power that, whether it's
agree.
Mother Nature, whether it's God, whatever it is, I don't know. I'm not smart enough to understand it yet. I believe there's a higher power that controls this because it's too.
ordered.
It's.
I think if you're a betting man, you would bet on
is the
it.
perfect.
If you were a betting
Perfect
man,
word.
Speaking my language, we talked about
bro,
this.
if you were a betting man, you're telling me you had a coin. You said one side was heads, one side was tails, one side was God exists, one side doesn't. You're telling it's. I don't think it's 50-50. I think it's more likely that there's a God, that there's a creator of us and this earth. Think about it, man. Like when you look at a great skyscraper and a great
agree.
building, you don't go, holy shit, look at that, just popped up there. It's so beautiful.
No.
No, you say who the hell constructed that thing? Who labored on that thing? Who
Yeah.
made that thing look beautiful? There
Yeah.
has to be
Who
some
put that
order
together?
Think
within the
about-
chaos. You know what I'm saying? So I have no doubt that
Think
again,
about it like this, Tino. Think
I-
about it like this.
I believe. I'm almost like 100% sure this God.
I'm about to confirm it for you. So, let's look at the planets right now. The Earth is perfectly in this Goldilocks zone.
Oh.
Between the sun, we're to the point where we don't burn up and explode, and we're not far away till we're ice cold. We're in a perfect
Bro.
Goldilocks zone at a perfect distance that
No
that it has a
equation can
perfect
explain that.
zero. There's not 0.001235.9. It's zero. It's a perfect zero from the sun, distance-wise.
I think dude,
Moon,
just look at
perfect
us.
zero.
Someone put it there.
Look at us.
How is it a perfect
Think,
zero?
how did we? I believe in evolution. We've evolved since the first species. to now.
100%. We 100% agree.
How the hell did we get to the point where we have blood running through our veins, we have skin, flesh, we have a beating heart, organs within our body that keep us alive?
Very
have
elaborate.
to-
Very elaborate.
That
Elaborate human
Bro,
system.
that
I took
doesn't-
anatomy in college.
that's not just spinning the wheel and hoping it lands on something. Someone created us. And listen,
Someone
dude.
put it
Now-
together somehow.
now this is what I hear a lot. Well, if your God was so loving and he was so great, why is there so much evil in the world?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
We get that a lot.
Yeah.
Especially as a Christian, I get that a lot.
Yeah.
And it's hard. I think my response would simply be, I think just because I think the presence of one thing allows for the presence of the other. We don't know
It's
what
the balance.
Mm.
The
we
yin-
don't know
the
what
yin
hot
and the
is
yang.
without cold.
Yep.
You can't say up without down.
Yep.
Right. So good exists, evil must exist.
Yep.
Right. So Satan, he roams this earth and he corrupts people. That's
Yep.
why you have evil people like murderers and terrorists and things like this
Yep.
who serve him. You have people who try to do right and inspire others and bring people to
Mhm.
God and bring people to live moral lives. Those people are good. But that's a universal concept. There's good people and bad people in everything. There's those
For
who are
sure.
trying to do good and those who are trying to do bad in everything. I don't think it's crazy to say that's the case with our existence.
Yeah.
It's just a battle between good and evil, a spiritual battle between choosing to do right and choosing to do wrong.
Yeah.
And so that's
Right.
what that's what I believe in. I believe that, I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. That's who I believe. I believe he's the Son of God. Now, I don't go around like, I don't impose my religion on people. I don't.
Yeah.
I try to plant the seed, but at the
Can't
end of the
force
day,
people,
it's free
yeah.
will. God
Yeah.
gave us free will for a reason.
You're right. You're right.
Yep.
So I'm not gonna. Who am I to go around telling you, you have to believe this because I believe it? No. This is what I believe. This is why I believe it. If you want
Yeah.
to believe it, welcome. Love to have you, but
Yeah. I agree.
you have to make those decisions for
Give
yourself.
people the choice.
Right.
Yeah. I agree. I think
That's dope.
a big thing talking about like the good and evil thing. I've talked about this with Ty before. We live in a world where we live in the middle of everything. We're balanced, right? Like we're in the middle of good and evil. We're in the middle of up down. We're in the middle of everything. Everything, because there's opposites to everything.
Yeah.
There's polar
100%.
opposites to everything in this world.
It's just
It's a perfect balance. We live in a perfect ecosystem where if you take one thing out, we fall apart. So we live in this perfect balance where we just live in the middle. We live in the gray area. Black, white, we're just so gray. And I think that people don't understand that like being too one-sided on anything is unhealthy. It's a bad thing. The whole world is gray. You got to be in the gray area. You got to be in the balanced area. It's the only way to be.
It's like that. It's the idea of being open-minded. Like,
Yep.
you don't want to be so set on one belief that you can't even listen to someone else's ideas on something. You know?
Yes.
I agree, but I also would say that if there's anything to be unbalanced on, it would be in terms of being good and bad. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
think there's any.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think there's any.
yeah.
You can never have too
Yeah.
much good or good
Yeah.
people in the world.
Good
now,
always prevails.
We can pray for that and want that, but the reality is, like you've been saying, this is a balanced world.
Yeah.
Just as many people who do the right thing
It's a
and who are
balanced
morally
world.
just, it's going to be just as many who sin and are immorally just,
Yeah.
cause harm to others. Just as many people who want to help others, there's going to be people who want to harm others. It's the reality. I mean, to me, even like how you say how the world is so balanced, like our existence is so balanced, even that like reaffirms my faith in God.
Yeah.
That there's a higher
The
being.
Goldilocks zone freaks me out, dude.
Because
That
it-
shit gets me.
Because again, like that's where free will comes into play.
Yeah.
If God wanted a bunch of robots who bowed down and worshipped him at whim, right? He could do that. Would he not have the capability to do that if he created this?
Right.
That's a
But
good
he
question.
gave us free will. He put us in
didn't
a
want
position. He
that.
said, if you're gonna worship, you're gonna believe in me and trust in me and put your faith in me and love me, you're gonna have to make that decision yourself. And when you make the decision, he knows it's genuine because
Yeah.
you have the choice. You have the choice to indulge in
Yeah.
evil, to indulge in wrong.
Right.
Many do. So I think that makes it's like a game. It's like a big game. That's all it is. It's stacking up wins and it's stacking up losses.
Yeah.
How many times do you sin? How many times do you repent? And how many times do you do right?
That's true.
You know what I mean? That's how I view it. I think a lot of people, like my concept of heaven and hell is like I think the Catholic Church, the church specifically, tries to water down what the Bible says and stuff like that. But I think you have to not just believe in God and have faith in Christ, but you also have to represent that in like the way you live too. I don't think you just get to heaven by just saying words. I think you have to represent that belief as well. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Talk it.
Be
yeah,
about it. You
walk
gotta be about
right,
it.
it's not just words, it's actions as well. Just like we've been saying, you can't just again, all these things relate.
Yeah.
All these things relate. It's not just talking.
It's a
about
full
things,
circle
it's,
thing.
It's actually living it. You know, Jesus, when he came down to heaven, our belief, he didn't just talk about being the Son of Man. We believe that he died on that cross, that he was crucified, and he rose 3 days later and ascended into heaven. That's what we believe. He didn't just
Yeah.
talk about it. He fulfilled it. He did it. He took action.
He did it.
So then that's why I believe that's how you live a good life on this earth. It's not just following his commands, but it's following the commands. It's not just saying and preaching about the commands, but it's also following the commands. Loving thy neighbor,
Yeah.
doing to others how you want to be, treating others how you want to be treated.
I agree.
You know, love God more than anything else, prioritize him. And so that's how, to me, that's the good life. Now, you're going to sin, you're going to fall short. I do it
Everyone
all the time.
does. Yeah. Everyone makes mistakes.
But there's redemption. So, I mean, I absolutely believe there's a God, and I don't judge if you're Muslim, if you're, you know what I mean, if you're Jewish, I don't judge you either way. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty dead set on the fact that there is a higher power than us, and you know,
Yeah.
we're not the most powerful things.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think you made a good point, especially in time for the giving season. You know what I mean? Always
Facts.
do better than you sin. You know what I mean? Always do better. Sometimes you're gonna transgress and shit happens, but there's always opportunities to do better. And I think, like, you know, if you believe in God, and like God's gonna give you opportunities to be better. He's not gonna make you a better person. He's gonna give you opportunities. He's gonna give you chances.
Absolutely.
So if there's a chance to hold open a door for somebody, then you do it. You do something good. Or if compliment someone, make their day. Or if you can give money to a homeless person, like, he's gonna give you those chances to do better. Find a way to each encounter you do better.
I've always said, you know, God, he created the worm, but he doesn't drop it in the nest. And so again, that plays into like free will. I don't think you can. This is like the idea of manifestation too. I don't think you can just sit down and pray, get on your knees and pray 24 hours a day and expect like a peaceful, good life. I think again, he may steer the boat, but you got to row. Like, you got to put in action yourself. You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
So that's where
it.
free will comes into play. He gave us 2 arms. He gave us 2 legs. And, you know, those who weren't blessed and weren't fortunate to have those things or had those things taken away, they have other gifts and talents.
Yeah.
So, like, you
Yeah.
have to use what was given to you to the best of your abilities. And I believe that's how you're judged in the end. I think if he gave someone great abilities and great talents and great gifts, and he wanted them to fulfill those things and preach to people and spread the good news and do whatever, help others, whether it be through charity or just inspiration and words, and he didn't do that, to me, that's a failed life.
Yeah.
But to the person who was gifted maybe
I
one
agree.
talent and showed up and took that talent, like we were saying earlier, that one thing, and they hammered it home
Doesn't
and they
have the
became the
same
best
kick.
at it,
Yeah.
and they became everything that God created them to be. Maybe it was just they were just important in their town, in their community. And I think that's fulfilling the
Boom.
mission. I think that's getting the
Yeah.
job done.
Boom.
So
I
you got to
agree.
do what's been given to you. And again, like free will absolutely comes into play. I'm not one of those people that just believes, you know, God's going to carry me because I deserve to be carried. No, I'm sinful. I'm a human. I make mistakes. I know I have to do work on my end, but I have trust and faith in him that I'll be all right and my family will be all right in the long run, in this
Yeah.
life and the next. So that's where faith. I think like faith is
I
just.
agree.
it's very important for me because it's like I can't handle the stress and anxiety and the worry of this life. I can't.
Yeah.
99% of people can't.
Yeah.
It's like at some point you got to have someone to like
some hope.
Exactly. And we can talk about hitting the gym and training and stuff like that and to offset that stuff, and it absolutely helps. Those are gifts from God.
Yeah.
He gives us those for a reason. But at the end of the day, I'm going to run into something. Like, bro, we all die.
I know.
We all die, man.
I know.
So
Facts, bro.
Can't take it with you.
we all die, so it's not like we're immortal by any means. So why would we have this level of cockiness and, you know, arrogance to think that we're just, you know, we're fine without the help of, you know, a higher being? You know, I think it's just natural to just seek, you know, help from someone who's better than you.
Yeah, I agree.
Who knows
I mean,
more than you, you know.
That's how you learn, though.
snap that around.
Because you're never gonna know everything. You know.
No, you know the saying: the more you know, the more you realize you don't know.
It's true. Ignorance
Don't
is
know.
bliss. I think that relates to that as well.
Very
You
similar,
know,
yeah.
Yeah.
But like, always have the wherewithal to recognize that you can always know more. Always strive for more. You know, I know I could go fucking longer. I know I don't want to keep you here too long.
What time?
It's 7:58.
You can run it.
You sure?
You can run it.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, cool. Because I want to respect your time.
I'm enjoying this, fellas. I am.
Dude, this is fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
No. This is
Great
Great
A lot of
conversation.
very clippy.
This is it's been deep, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the point of this podcast. I mean, we get to sit at a table with people that, you know, you wouldn't normally sit with and talk and have a good conversation. And that's why I was so glad you came, because a lot of people kind of get nervous about it. Like, oh, like, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to say? What is this going to be about? And it's like, it's just
Chop
about
it up.
finding, chop it up.
Chop it up. You
Just
know, it's-
finding things you
Chop it
agree with,
up.
things you disagree with.
I enjoy conversations like these because I don't have a lot of. I think sometimes find it that I lack people in my life that are willing to talk about things like these.
Some
you
people
know what I
can't
mean?
get this
Yeah.
deep. Some people aren't willing to. I don't
And
know
it's
why.
not that, and I'm not saying they're not intelligent. They're just not, like you said.
They're just not
willing
ready.
to
They're just
open
not ready
the door
for it.
and at
They're
least
not
like
ready.
consider these things, or like, you know, add an idea or not. They're just afraid to. They don't want to. And
Yeah.
there's nothing against them. But it's just refreshing to talk to people who are willing to, you know.
At least just
Dig a little
open
bit
to the
deeper.
idea. You
Yeah.
know, you're right. Some
Sure.
people, and I'll blame them. Like you said, this life is stressful and it's
Yeah.
hard, and some people aren't willing or ready to talk about the things that are serious and that are genuinely real. And I get it. Like, it sucks, but like you said, be open to it. Just sit with the Bice, talk with the Bice. We'll fucking talk about it. We'll, you know,
facts, bro.
we had Dan Saladay on the pod. It was
What's up,
fucking
my guy?
awesome. Dude, he's a fucking
My
G.
track buddy.
Dude, he's a fucking G. I love that
Big
podcast.
big
man.
music guy.
Dude, we're
He
huge music
invented
fans.
music.
He invented music. I'm a big music fan, and I was just picking his brain, and he was like you, just fucking giving me absolute gems.
He's a
Yeah.
good dude.
Oh,
Shout out,
yeah.
shout out my
Shout out-
guy.
shout out-
Shout out
fucking
Saladay.
Sal.
Hey. Come
Back
back
on the pod. Come
Got
back
you,
on
in,
the pod.
got you in fantasy this week. No, I think I beat him this week in fantasy.
No shit.
Yeah.
I'm up about 70 right now. So
Well, let's talk
Hell
about
yeah.
fantasy.
Humble
Let's talk about football right now in the state that it's in, real quick. Actually,
Shout out the Pats.
what being a former shout out being a former running back. What do you think? Do you think they're doing running backs dirty?
here's my honest opinion. I think it's. Listen, like if you're, let me put it this way: if you're a dude and you're trying to date a girl, right? You don't determine the market. The
No.
girl determines the market.
Women
correct?
control the sexual
Vice
market.
versa.
Control.
Correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Like if you're a girl and you want to get a man, like, well, he determines what's attractive to him or not, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Mm.
So they can complain all they want, but the reality is we've seen it at the running back position. We've seen Zeke Elliott and Tony
Yeah.
Pollard in Dallas.
So true.
Tony, I mean,
So many people.
we've seen let's
Aaron
go.
Jones, AJ Dillon.
Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon. I think
Uh,
Aaron Jones is still underused, though. I think they don't use.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
Alex Madison and Dalvin Cook at the time. Now they both kind of suck, but
we've
Damian Pierce, David Singletary, Zach Moss, JT. You know what I mean?
even Derrick Henry now in Tennessee. They got a
Tyjae
receiving
Spears.
back, Tyjae Spears, who's it's like King Henry, legend. But like
King Henry.
you want to pay him that much money when you got to pay your quarterback. Now Will Levis is coming up. He's a rookie obviously, but you got other guys to pay at other positions. Do I feel for them? Absolutely. They're getting their head beat in, right? Playing
That's the
football.
most.
They
That's
deserve
the
to be
most
paid.
physical
Real bad,
fucking
yeah.
position. That sucks.
Jonathan Taylor, Zach Moss. Zach Moss was number 2 in rushing yards, and JT had a good game yesterday against the pass, but
you don't necessarily need. I don't think you need a star running back to win championships. You do need a star quarterback, and you do need star wideouts. You need star pass rushers.
That's so true.
So I don't
The
think
game's changing. The game's
game is
changing.
different now.
Let's run through it. The past running backs from past Super Bowls last year. Miles.
Chiefs.
Miles Sanders was in it, but it was a running back by committee in Kansas City.
Yes.
Pacheco was
Yeah.
a first-round rookie, 7th-rounder. Excuse me,
Yeah.
7th-round rookie.
Yes.
Chiefs
Just
have,
check
they have a fucking.
Who won the
brutal-
year before that?
Rams.
The Rams. Who'd they have?
Cam Akers.
Who won the year before that?
Bucks.
Chiefs. No, the Bucks.
Who'd-
Well, they had
Lenny
Lenny.
Fournette.
Leonard Fournette. Nah.
But they also had by committee because they had.
But who-
They had Rashad
Rojo.
White.
But who'd they have though? Brady,
Yeah.
Evans, Godwin,
Gronk.
at tight end, 2 stud linebackers,
Great defense. Yeah.
great pass rushers,
Yeah.
Shaq Barrett.
They're nasty.
You pay guys.
JPP
listen,
all
the
time
mar-
great.
Yeah, fireworks.
JPP.
I love JPP. He's one of my favorites.
Shouts JPP. Come
The
on
market. The market demands. The market demands. It's quarterback, it's wide receiver, and it's pass rusher right now. That's where you're
Dude,
gonna get
pass
paid.
rushing is fucking
It's
so
crazy.
important now.
Yeah.
It's so
So,
important now.
yes.
That's why when we don't have Jude on, it makes me ill.
Oh man.
Makes me
Well, it
ill.
doesn't help when you lose your first-round rookie too. That doesn't.
Gonzo.
I know.
That,
he's
that leads to
balling.
2-8.
It also doesn't help that our offense looks like cheese.
No.
Doesn't help that Bill.
Is that a little pun right there? Mac Jones, mac and cheese.
I didn't even think of
Dude,
that.
Mac Jones looks like a fucking
All right,
Pop Warner player.
all
with-
right. Hold on.
He's got his knee pads on his shins.
Hold on.
Can't even throw the ball.
Are you
out
out
bad.
Are you still in on Mac?
Hold on. I'm
He
not,
loves Mac
No,
till
no,
the day he
no,
dies.
no.
I'm out of Mac.
I'm not in. I'm not out. I think. Listen, is Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi the future? No. Are they the guy? No.
Zappy could have been.
absolutely
Didn't get a
not.
fair shake.
Fair. I agree with that. But
Although he
they're
did
not
have a
the-
terrible camp with what they
they're not the
started. I don't
choice.
know.
All I'm saying, they're not the guys. They're not the guys.
Drake May.
However,
May's the guy.
however,
I like Drake, man.
No
we have,
Caleb
we have seen Mac Jones throw balls where literally in their hands and they don't catch. Like we need.
we should be 7-3.
We need wideouts that can catch the
I
fucking
agree.
ball.
Devontae Parker sucks. Like no disrespect.
Parker
to
sucks.
He hasn't made a play
Shout out to
since
Devontae Parker. We love
he
you.
came to the Pats.
But
But
I'm
we're
about-
paying him. How much money are we paying him?
too much money. Too much money for
Juju.
Devontae Parker.
What is he?
Too much money for Juju.
We let Jacoby Myers go, and that guy's been more. I mean,
He's
why'd
been
we let him
hooping.
go?
He's been hooping.
Let the record
He's
show.
better.
Let the record show.
He is
I was
better.
against
Definitely.
trading for Juju. I have it in text writing.
I would have
and
paid Jacoby Myers
and
more to have him.
Everyone shit on me for saying I would rather have Jacoby. Everyone shat on me, and then when this season happened, you best be known I was petty and I kept the receipts.
Listen, here's everything you got to know about
I'll
Mac
put
Jones,
up the text
though.
message
Listen,
and the timestamps.
When you look around the league today, I look at guys like Josh Allen. I look at guys like Mahomes.
How can you not?
Hurts. Name a few more. What we got?
Burrow, Herbert,
Burrow, Herbert. Even those guys.
Tua,
Those guys.
Lamar.
Even Lamar.
Brock Purdy.
Even
Man.
Purdy though. No, but what I'm about to say
Sam
is this.
Howell.
Mac Jones is like ceiling is so
Dak.
limited
Max sucks.
that like
Max sucks.
everything around him has to be perfect.
Mac would not
Like
have started on my fucking C team, Pop Warner.
Yeah, for real.
The offensive coordinator has to be excellent. The offensive line has to be perfect. He needs to have a great back that can catch passes out of the backfield. He needs to have an excellent wide receiver core. Defense has to be stout. He has such a small ceiling, a low ceiling, that like everything around him has to support him. When you have guys like Josh Allen breaking 2 or 3 tackles, getting outside the pocket, throwing across his body, making plays himself, have you ever seen Mac Jones make a play like that? He needs a clean pocket. He needs to step up and through. And
He is
even
under
when he
pressure
is
more, to
accurate-
be fair, but you're right. He
I-
does not do well under pressure.
I agree, but like you can't tell me right now we wouldn't have at
Brady would
least-
figure it
if,
out.
If even if Josh Allen was there, man,
Yeah.
he was making plays. And Pat Mahomes
right,
was in
you're
some-
right,
and I
you're
don't want to
right.
compare him to the best.
No, you're right,
Best
you're
quarterback
right.
in the world.
You're right.
I just don't like the fact that like even this guy he's gun shy now too, where he's not stepping.
Do you
into
think
throws
everyone's
because-
saying Zappy, Boo Mac kind of gets in his head?
I mean,
Hey, well, he's got to be mentally tough.
they're
Come on.
Yeah, he's got to
You're
be.
not
He's a
wrong.
pro.
You're
Mac
not
Goggins.
wrong.
You gotta. You know what I mean?
Mac Goggins.
Mac Goggins.
No, but here's the thing. I agree with all that, but bottom line, the guy was bawling his eyes out on a sprained ankle.
Oh, that was brutal, man.
Like what? Like how?
He's
How?
being carried out. I'm telling you.
How are you gonna look at a full room of grown
I
ass
don't think
men?
that helps the locker room. I agree.
Terrible for locker.
They say
like,
he's well. He is well. I think he's liked though in the locker room.
he was.
You tell your
I think
story.
now it's sort of
All right, so friend of mine. Long story short,
Is this an inside source?
long story short, a couple friends of mine saw a former lineman of Mac. This was after Mac's rookie year. Saw him at the casino, and they were asking him questions. It was Ted Karras. Shout out Ted.
Ted Karras. He's in Cincinnati now.
Cincinnati, yeah.
Oh, is he? I thought it was with the Chiefs.
Tooney. I think
Tooney was the Chiefs. They were asking him questions. It was Gunnar Olszewski was also there.
Yeah.
Shout out Gunnar coming to pod.
Shout out Olszewski.
So they were talking to him, like asking him questions about Mac, and Ted Karras was like, looked him dead in the eye, was like, leader of men. Mac Jones, leader of men. And like they kept like asking him questions, like that's all he would say. So either he was deflecting and being like, just say this so no one talks shit about the QB.
Was he intoxicated by any chance? Did he have?
Don't know, probably.
Yeah.
He must have been. So we can't really look in too deep into that. But that was after his rookie year when they went to the playoffs. Mac was a Pro Bowler, kind of. And, you know, things were looking up. But, you know, times have changed, and it's definitely a little bit different. This was before the crying on the sprained ankle.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I
Rough
think
luck.
if a little shout out to 98.5 Tony Maz. I think these guys
Shout out Tony
these
Maz.
guys hit it on the head. They call him he's a country club kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He is.
He's the tennis guy. He's the tennis kid. You know where
He is the ultimate.
he's throwing the
frat boy.
racket and he's complaining about every call and he's crying. You know,
He's
what I
the
mean?
country
That's
club
who he
kid,
is, and that's
bro.
his personality. Me personally,
He's the ultimate frat boy.
I would prefer Jalen Hurts leading me. I would prefer
Oh my
Josh
God.
Allen leading me. I'd prefer
Jalen Hurts. Can we talk
I'd
about how
prefer
good of a guy
I'd
Jalen
prefer
Hurts
Sam
is?
Howell in Washington leading me. He's a
Yes.
dog. That kid.
Yeah, we lost to
Yes.
them.
303 touchdowns yesterday. He's a dog. Geno Smith, dog. Like
Dog.
I'd rather those guys.
Dog.
Like,
Dude,
leading
yeah.
me.
Like,
I don't
people
know.
look at Zappy and be like, you know, him and Mac pretty much the same
mid.
player. What's the difference? I'm like,
Yeah.
well, Zappy probably wouldn't have cried on a sprained ankle. So, you know, like,
I do
give him
agree.
a shot.
I do agree that they should at least give Zappy one start because they always
Tom Brady tore his ACL. He knew it was torn, knew his season was over. He walked off the
Yeah.
field, no tears.
Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers, man, that Achilles, he knew
Rodgers.
it. He knew
He
it
was
as soon as
smiling.
He knew it.
Well,
You know
now
what I
he's
mean?
now
he
he's
showed
off,
no emotion. You know.
now he's off a crutch.
Yeah, no emotion.
On that Zappy thing though, how unfair was that to put that guy in? You benched listen, I'm all for
Every
playing
time,
Zappy, bro.
every game.
You put the guy in. You're down. You haven't scored a touchdown all game.
Hasn't
you
had-
need a touchdown.
He has not had a fair shot.
He doesn't
all
practice
year.
all week with the first team, so no 2-minute reps.
Right.
And you put him in 2-minute in Munich, Germany to
Yeah.
go win you the game.
Yeah,
And
Munich,
you have him
Germany.
running fake spikes.
fake spikes. There's a
To be honest with
also
like,
threw in a triple coverage, which is crazy, but
there was a little interference too, and it was that like locker room clip
Fair.
too where he was talking about he doesn't want to say it. I think the
Yeah.
refs would have got him with a fine. The league would have got him with a fine, but bro, like at some point, like that has to come back on like Bill O'B and Belichick too, bro. Like I understand the aura of Belichick, but like what have you
Was
done
it Tom
for me
or is it Bill? Dude, Bill.
done for me lately.
All right, hold on.
You
Bill,
know-
did you see
I was
Bill's
50-50.
what's it called?
I'm nearing Brady now.
Yeah.
He was
It
the
was
glue.
Brady.
He was more of
It
the
was
glue.
He was a great. All right, so Bill, great defensive mind.
Yeah.
He, great defensive mind. His defense has historically always been like top 5 in stats every year.
I'll say what the problem with Bill is after you.
I'll say the problem with Bill right now.
All right.
The what's it called? Walk of shame. Have you seen that video?
What's that?
The Bill Belichick walk of shame.
Yeah,
Can we please put that up on the monitor somewhere?
The ring got him.
Yeah,
Whatever,
the ring doorbell.
cam, yeah.
Ring doorbell.
Yeah, that's not a
I-
good look.
Was that recently? Like I don't know
I
when that
haven't
video
seen that
was.
video, but we should pull it up.
I'm pulling up right now.
But let me explain the problem with Bill.
Let's hear it.
Every fucking press conference, they ask Bill all these questions, very important questions that I might add. Where we're 2-8, we need some answers,
Right.
and he always answers with the same question and the same one-word answer each time. On the next week.
And
It's
here's
like,
the thing.
It's like, dude, that was cool when we were winning games and we
Exactly.
were fucking nasty and we were like, you were a good mind. Now when we're 2-8 and life sucks and like people need answers, it's not cool anymore. Now you just look like a retard. Oh, I shouldn't say that, but that's on me.
Cut that out.
Yeah, we gotta cut that out.
Here he is.
But now you just look like a big dumb idiot. Wait, what happened here?
So this is him leaving some young lady's house. But that's what people think. Morning after, he's got no shirts. He's checking his pocket. He's got wallet, keys, phone. He's ready to go.
Could be a little AI.
Could be AI. Probably.
I don't think so though.
This
Probably
is someone's house.
This is a ring doorbell
Walk of shame,
footage.
man. 2-9.
2 and 9.
Ring doorbell footage of his house or someone else's house?
2 and 9.
Not his house. Not his house. If you think it's his house, he wouldn't be wearing a shirt.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he'd have a nicer house than that too with the money they're paying him. Doesn't look like a.
I mean, I haven't seen that. That's kind of crazy, but
It's kind of a conspiracy.
But the problem is he's not answering questions. He's still doing the same shit.
I think he's
They're just not
outdated.
good anymore.
His coaching style is outdated.
He's outdated. He's outdated.
Yeah, he's not adjusting, bro. Like, look at all the great
McCarthy,
all the
man.
good teams now in the league, man. Young offensive minds, and they come from a certain tree, the McVay tree, the Shanahan tree, right? Look at San Francisco, what they're doing. That dude Shanahan's a genius. That offense is so fun to watch. Even Cincinnati, Zach Taylor, I believe he's Shanahan or McVay tree, young offensive mind.
I love the Dolphins.
Yeah, and then on
McDaniel,
yeah.
And then on Sunday, the Pats have like 4 tight ends on the field.
Oh man, it's like Gronk and I mean.
If it was Gronk.
Shout out to Aaron Hernandez, but I mean, as if they're still out there on the field. I mean, it's not. You got
nasty.
Hunter Henry, who you're paying a ton of money.
No,
you're not.
He's a good player. Like, he's a good player.
He's great. We don't utilize him.
That's what I'm saying. That you expected him to be just a little bit more because Bill O'B's about that.
Dude, it was just crazy that like.
But it's also Mac throwing him the ball, so it's like
Mac's first year
the
though.
O-line's terrible, so I don't know.
It's everything.
Mac's first year though. Hunter Henry was a touchdown god. He was always open in the end zone.
I mean, they made.
He had like 12 touchdowns last
season. They made the offs.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I believe like if you put Mac Jones in San Francisco, he'd be good. He'd be better.
He'd probably
be a Pro Bowler.
He'd be better, yeah.
But because he has a good floor if everything around him is good.
He can't make it happen when he doesn't have the line, doesn't have the weapons.
He can't.
I agree.
He can't. So
he's not the guy.
He doesn't have the arm strength. He doesn't have the playmaking
guy.
ability. Like we watch this guy. Like again, I don't want to compare him to Mahomes, but even guys like Burrow, breaking
Burrow's
a tackle,
nasty.
escaping the pocket, moving to his right, and throwing 50 yards down the field, hitting Jamar Chase at T. Higgins. It's like he can't. And first off, and again,
we don't have a Jamar.
I'm being
That's
fair.
too
He doesn't
bad,
have
man.
that,
Right.
but he doesn't. We also know he doesn't have that arm strength and that playmaking ability. That's the truth.
Know. It sucks.
So I just feel like you're
doesn't
limited
have the
too.
mental fortitude. It's true.
It's frustrating.
Had to hold in those tears.
It's
I
just
mean,
raw frustration at this point. I just go into every week knowing that we suck and it's the Jets now, and
at this point, it's just
sad.
Malik Cunningham.
Who knows?
practice squad. Is he getting the call?
Charge him up.
Yeah.
Charge him up. Let's go.
But I want to ask you. I want to get back to the nutrition stuff. So, what do you usually try to eat? Like, what's your? Do you have a regimen? You have a routine, or do you just have things like you autopilot?
I'm not. Yeah. If I'm doing like something like 75 hard, where I'm like,
yeah.
I'll make sure I'm eating clean.
Have you done that?
I have. Yeah. I
Hell
actually did
yeah.
that. I documented it on my Instagram. I want to do it again. But when I did it originally, it was like I did every few days. I want to do it where every single day I'm up and I'm posting and I'm making sure I'm.
Hell
Because
yeah.
I think that also holds you accountable if you're posting.
Yeah,
it
it's a diary. It's a
absolutely.
journal.
And so
Yeah.
I actually
Yeah,
enjoy doing that.
You got to do it.
But so like when I was doing that, I was trying to follow a clean diet. But now it's just like, dude, I honestly like, if I'm eating, bro, like, I hate to say it. If I'm training to run a marathon or something like that, I'll lock in.
Yeah.
If I was fighting, like I'd lock in.
Yeah.
But like right now
you can be a little more lenient.
especially on the holidays, I'm a little bit lenient. Or honestly, like I said before, I've been trying to like just fast intermittently. Like today, I wouldn't eat till like, I think today I ate at like 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And I had steak and eggs. That was it.
Nice.
Protein,
salt the
baby.
shit out of it. Give me my steak and eggs, and that's it. I'm good. You know what I mean? I could. That's all I really need.
Yeah.
But it's also like, when you were young, we ate 3 meals a day, and that was like expected. You know, breakfast,
Yeah.
lunch, and dinner. Now it's like if I get 1 good meal a day, I'm good. You know what I mean?
That's
how I
also
feel.
that's also how the society controls you.
So, do you try to get a certain amount of
Breakfast,
protein in
lunch,
it or
dinner.
no?
Another
I
story.
don't even track it.
Really?
I don't even track it.
I respect it. Yeah.
You know, and I don't know. I mean, some people, like, I know people, even in my family, who do it, and it drives them insane.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to.
Calorie counting and shit.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
It's brutal. Like, again,
Yeah.
like when I was playing football.
You know your body, like you said. You get what you get, and you're good with it.
When I was playing football, though, I was counting it.
Yeah.
Counting, to the scoop, of whey protein, you're counting it, making sure you're getting the right servings and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But
Well,
it's
you
like,
need to. That's a specific goal. Yeah.
And now it's just like I don't know. I just feel like
You know your body. You know what it needs.
if I feel like I need a little kick and I'm about to go on a run, I'll drink some electrolytes and I'll get some carbs in and I'll go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm always putting protein in my body after a workout, after a run. I know that. That's a mainstay.
Yeah.
But like I've ditched like the 3 meal mindset. I just feel like too much, dude. Like, too
Yeah.
much.
No, I
Especially
mean-
I'm not dirty bulking anymore. I don't need it. You know.
Right.
I just need it's input output for me. I need to put energy into my body
to produce an output.
to exercise, right? And then when I get done at the gym, I need to
Refuel.
refuel,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yes, sir.
I don't need excess.
Yeah,
know?
you're right. I think that just comes with training after for so long.
Yeah.
Like after doing so many years, you just know like by process of elimination like what works for you, what doesn't. And you can run on after being so dedicated to the lifestyle for a while, you can kind of go on autopilot.
Absolutely.
Cuz
I
I'm
agree.
kind of there right now too.
Yeah, and it's no like I respect everyone who's like following like a rigorous routine and they're like counting protein down to like the milligrams.
That's
they're
the
weighing
grind.
their food. Like I respect that. I'm not a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
To be genuinely honest with you, I don't. I like to have a six pack when the summer comes around. I like to.
You're
be
more
lean.
of a physical like athletic guy.
I care about.
Yeah.
Is my knee aching? Like is
Yeah.
my IT band ready to go for
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
run? Like am I gonna be up? Okay. It's like the stuff you can't see. I care about that more than like. Obviously, bro. Like if I'm posting something on Instagram, I want to look good. You know what I mean?
Which
Yeah.
you will.
Like,
Which you
like,
will.
yeah, it's a byproduct, but like, I mean, to me, it's more about how I feel rather than how I look.
I like that. I think that's more important. That's more important for longevity wise, which is why also, eating right, taking care of your body right is super important. What do you find that helps you recover the most?
Honestly, I'll
Sleep.
either go. I'm not a good sleeper, bro. I'm not gonna lie with
Same.
you. I'm not a good
It
sleeper.
sucks.
I struggle. I honestly, I'll try to. I don't even take whey protein anymore. In terms of like,
Neither do I.
I don't do
I don't
it.
like
it
it.
mess with my face. It mess with my skin. I'll try to eat like just meat, red meat, steak. I'll
Yeah.
have chicken thighs, breasts, yogurt. I love like Greek yogurt, anything that's like high in
Yes.
protein, low in
High
calories.
protein.
You know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah.
But yeah, I ditched the whey protein thing because first off, it was a pain in the ass buying those tubs and like taking them, and then
Crazy expensive.
it's just first like I had bad digestive issues from them.
Oh,
Messed
yeah.
with my face, and
they're
it's
not,
not
Yeah.
worth it.
They're not great.
Especially
worth
mixed with milk and shit. Like
Oh no, yeah, yeah,
it's
doubles.
just
But then you mix it with water and it tastes like shit though. It tastes
Right.
like dirt.
Yeah.
Like there's no.
and they say like, oh, if you mix it with milk, like the milk lines your stomach, so you don't absorb the protein the right way.
that makes sense. You know?
So then you
Yes.
you want to drink with water, but then you drink with water, it tastes like nothing. It tastes like shit.
Yeah, so
I haven't looked at it like
ditched
that, but that's interesting. Damn.
But
Well, like
that was
let's-
actually shout out Varg. He told me that thing.
really
He's
shots
like,
fired.
don't use milk. You won't absorb the protein the right way. All right.
He's funny.
He knows all that shit.
Yeah, he's
though.
jacked. Let's talk about because you probably follow a lot of people in the industry, fitness industry.
I do, yeah. I'm not big in the bodybuilding industry.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see
yeah,
it,
yeah.
like, but
But you're around the fitness industry.
yeah.
So, what's your take on people that take performance enhancers but aren't always like, super transparent about it?
I think it's bullshit. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think. If you want to
if
take
you
it, that's cool. Be transparent about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you want to
Exactly.
take it to recover from an injury, like you were saying, I'm all for it.
Right.
You want to do like I get it. If you want to take it, if you're going to be in a bodybuilding competition and it allows you to do it, do it.
Yeah.
For me, I've always to me, if you're enhanced and other people aren't enhanced, you're cheating. Like I've
That's
always
a
looked at
fact.
it.
It's
Bottom
just the
line.
bottom line.
It's
I don't.
just unfair.
Especially
Unfair.
if you're lying
I don't
about
need
it.
all the nuanced excuses. That's just how I look at it. So like,
True.
I think the people. I think the biggest douchebags, though, if that's allowed to be said, are the ones who go on TikTok and Instagram and who do this shit. They take the shit and they deny it and deny it and deny it.
I'm
the
all,
comments,
I'm clean.
natural. They
I'm
put in the
natty.
bio. First off, the majority of people know that they're bullshitting, but like they get these young kids, bro. They deceive these young kids. They they give them a false reality, this false idea that they can achieve that naturally.
Fucked up.
And then number two is some of these people, they talk about it so much, it encourages these kids 14, 15 years old to go out there getting SARMs and Tren and shit like that.
Yeah.
So you don't need that
That's
shit.
It's no good, bro.
It's not a great recipe. It looks like it's encouraging people that if you take these things, you can be whatever you want,
But,
and it's not the case a lot of the times.
And like some people like allow their like we're all like the genetics are different and I get it.
Exactly.
But like I've just always been of the mindset that like I don't compete in bodybuilding or anything like that. I will
What's the
never
point?
take like make maybe testosterone. I can understand that because that's like
That's an aging
If you're like
thing.
Right.
50
Aging.
years old and you
Right.
need it, yeah.
but something to aid you against those who aren't being aided by it. It's just to me it's just blatant cheating. And I
Yeah.
think that's just like
Yeah.
having no like
integrity.
No, exactly.
Nothing.
It's like, how do you not look yourself in the mirror at night and go, yeah, I'm a bitch? Like,
Right.
that's how I look at it,
Right.
honestly. Like, it's like, I'd want
mean,
a level
that's
playing
fair.
field. And if I'm competing with someone on a level playing field, like, I don't care if I win if I'm cheating. Like,
Right. It don't
when
count.
I'm on my deathbed, I'm going to think about that. Did I really deserve that? I don't want that. So, like, to me, I think it's cowardice to do something like that. But yeah, absolutely. You should be transparent if you're doing that stuff. These guys have millions of followers. A lot of these kids are 15 years or younger, and they're easily influenced, and they're the most impressionable people.
Definitely.
So be transparent. And if you're taking them, that's cool. Tell them not to take them, though, if they're 14, 15 years old, and tell them to do their research if they want to take them at some point, because we've seen people in the industry die from it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it, dude. It's not worth taking it and dying at the edge. We saw Joe Lindner. He was a bodybuilder who died. I believe he was 29, late 20s, early 30s. Millions of
I
followers.
have seen that. Yes. Was that due
Dude
to
inspired
his
a ton of
substance take?
people. Yeah, it was from his, I believe his
Damn.
heart or something. It was something like that.
Brutal.
It's not worth it to look a little bit more aesthetic.
Because you can still look amazing
Yeah, you
without
can.
it.
And like,
Especially the
That's true,
way they
too.
work.
That's true.
why can't we just fulfill our natural potential? Why do we have to become gods? You know what I'm saying?
Ego
Right.
thing. It's an ego thing.
It is an ego, and I think that's
It's
the
an
biggest
ego
struggle. It's
thing.
pride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we all struggle with. But
Especially when the opportunity is there, it's so tempting.
yeah,
It's so like, what could
when
I
other people,
be?
when you see other people you look up to doing it as well.
Exactly. It's tempting. It's sexy. It's flirting with you. You know what I mean? Sometimes you look at it and like, especially if someone gives you the opportunity, if someone's like, hey, like, I can get you this. It's.
I'll get
it
you
makes-
that for
it
the
makes you
for the
think.
low, bro.
Yeah.
For
Because
the low.
I'll be honest.
First one's free.
I won't
kid.
name names. But someone like offered me a chance to take things. And I remember I asked Ty about it.
Oh, really?
What did
I
I
was like-
say? I forget.
We can probably look back and find the text, but I remember I was like, dude, like he said I could get these. Like, you think I should say fuck it and try it? Because like we were like 23. It was like a few years ago. We were,
What did I
like,
say? Try it.
whatever. We were a little older. Like, so it wasn't like I don't.
You
think
weren't
should take it.
15, but yeah.
No, I wasn't 15, but I was over 21. Like I have
don't-
the ability to make the choice of you know
Yeah.
what I mean. If you're under 21
I've
and
seen
want
kids-
to take these things, I think you should take it when you've reached your max
I've
potential.
seen kids taking like trenbolone at like 14 years
That's
old.
what I mean.
That's bad.
If you're 30
Trend is not
and you've
safe.
trained for like at least 10 years, like you're probably gonna reach a point of diminishing returns to the point where if you really want to get to what you're trying to achieve, that's when you might need to take a performance enhancer. But if you don't compete, like you said, if it's no purpose, I don't really see the reason to. And that's basically what he told me. He's like, we're not trained for anything. It's stupid. Like, what's the point of it? And he was also like, I'd rather just say I did it all me.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, you're right.
But
Like,
in the
fuck it,
same
it's not
breath,
worth
like
it.
if you're not competing, I also don't have an issue. If you want to do it, it's a decision you have to make for yourself.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
that's another side of the coin. Yeah,
But like, I wouldn't do it personally.
yeah.
No.
So that's basically what came down to it for me. It was like I just didn't feel right doing it. Didn't really care enough to do it. Like at the end of the day, it would just cost me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
stupid.
I've always like it's like
Take
that,
years off your life, money out your
It would
pocket.
just cost me.
It's like
Maybe I
choosing
should
between
take it.
natural and processed foods too, dude. It's like choosing between natural and processed, to where it's like,
Yeah, exactly.
to me, like my mindset is like everything that like God has allotted for us that's natural, that you can plant in the ground and that doesn't have to be processed, like that's good and you should be eating that.
I agree.
The processed
Facts.
stuff you should avoid.
Ooh,
You know
this
what I'm
this
saying?
makes me think of a good
So, like,
question.
It's the same thing, like that's man-made, that stuff, those steroids and shit. You know, stay away
Yeah.
from that shit. You know?
Artificial.
You
Yeah.
know, put,
No
it- put-
good.
Put something in your body that's natural, that's gonna fuel you, that people have been eating and consuming for years.
Yeah, and there are things
That
that you
shit
can
will
eat
change
that can
your-
raise your testosterone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's
Right.
natural ways that listen.
natural ways to do it.
They hide from us. They absolutely do.
Oh,
They absolutely.
so bad. It's
They
terrible.
don't want to tell because, or they jack up the prices on these things to make
Yep.
it impossible for the average person to get them. But
Mm.
if you do your research, I know they end up like killing most of the people who try to like unveil the truth of these things. But I mean,
Yeah.
you'll find some
Fucked
truth
up.
out there, and you just gotta do your best to avoid the shit that they're trying to sell you, and take the narrow path when it comes to that stuff.
Well, let me get your opinion since we're talking about substances and drugs and stuff. What's your opinion on drugs?
Any specific ones or just in general?
Just like overall. So like we could take this a couple ways. I was thinking more so of like narcotics, paraphernalia versus like we could go down the pharmaceutical route.
Pharmaceutical.
Because pharmaceuticals I think are fucked up.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, the psychedelics, the paraphernalia, that's side of everything is a little different. You know what I mean?
Like if we're just talking about like marijuana, bro, like I think that's
It's like medicine.
do it. Like I don't care. Like it's
Naturally
these guys
grows
playing
that
in the
way.
league and stuff like that. They use it to help them like recover and relax. Go for it. I
Yeah.
don't care. It doesn't affect anyone. I don't think
grows that
nothing's
way.
been proven that it enhances your performance or anything like that.
No.
I don't understand like the pushback against that. Now I do think again, it's what you do in moderation.
Yes.
I think the person who sits in their basement all day and smokes weed and allows it to make them
That's bad.
complacent.
That's bad.
It's not good. You're abusing it. You can abuse anything,
You abuse anything.
right?
Yeah.
And so it can be abused, but I think if you use it for, beneficiaries, then yeah, it's good. The other stuff like psychedelics and stuff like that, I've heard stories about people who've had good experiences on them. I mean, I personally would never do it because I wouldn't. But
Do you
the
live
thing
a
about
mainly
weed-
sober lifestyle?
I've never been drunk in my life. I've
Really?
never been drunk. I've never
Wow.
been
Kidding.
I've never been drunk.
You ever been high?
Never been high.
Really?
I
You never
haven't.
want
Hell
to try
yeah.
it?
It's to me.
No
it's
point.
like
Put a C on
I
that.
don't.
Just saying that. Clarity.
I don't say that.
Clarity
to, like,
King.
I don't. I take pride in it because
That's hard.
it's difficult.
It's
I went
hard
to
to
college
do.
for 4 years, and I played football, and I was around it.
It's hard to
Yeah,
do.
that's-
It's hard.
that
to
ain't
do,
easy.
man.
So I was in my room playing 2K with my boys at other schools, like
Yeah.
playing, fucking Rocket League or something like that, and not going out and drinking. And still hung out with my boys, but like I wouldn't really walk into the parties. It wasn't my place.
Yeah.
Now am I shitting
agree.
on people who do it? No. You live your life. You
That's-
do what
Yep.
you got to do,
Bro,
But, like,
because
That's what you do, yeah.
I can attest, because I was a kind of guy, like, I would try to stay away from it, but I
It was
didn't
tempting.
all the
It
time.
was sexy.
Like it was
there.
it's so hard to do that in that scenario, in that environment.
Yeah, it's
so
tough.
I
It's
tip the
there.
cap. I tip the cap.
It's I mean, you are who the 5 closest people you surround yourself with, and when you're at college and
Facts.
everyone's thinking the same, it's
Yeah.
it's hard. Trust me, I was at parties and obviously I was offered, like, clearly if I was
Right.
at to me, it's the same mindset I have towards steroids. I don't want to put anything in my body that affects my sobriety.
Mm.
I'm
Yeah, and I
Respect.
respect that.
God
because
he's been gracious enough to give me a life, and I'm living and I'm breathing. I don't need to take this shit and put it in
Yeah.
my body. You know what I mean?
Facts, bro.
I don't need it. I'm
Yeah.
good as I am now, sober. I've never experienced being drunk, and I don't know when I'll die, but I don't think I don't really ever want.
you're
to.
not missing out on
It's
much.
not,
Yeah, you ain't missing out on nothing, bro.
Like I personally am. I don't miss. Like, if I never had a drink again, I wouldn't miss it. Me personally, it's
Yeah.
not something like you said, it's not my scene either. It's not something I would miss personally. Like, I could live without it.
I think it's tough though because it's such like a social thing too. That like
For
If you're in a
everyone else,
social setting-
for everyone else, people can't go out without
you can't
having
have,
it.
so many
I
people,
could.
They
but
can't have fun without it either, which
Yeah.
is like it's
That's a
like,
problem.
if you're around
I
the right
could.
people, you can have fun with. You know what I mean? You can be cool with anyone. You don't need that
I'm
stuff.
having fun right now.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
But I will say, burning that tree a little bit is a good time. I'll be honest.
Listen, I mean,
You invented that tree.
I did not invent the tree. That's
know-
you. You invented the
I
tree.
know Rogan's huge on it. Joe Rogan. I know a lot of athletes, NFL, NBA guys.
It just grows like
huge on
that.
it.
You just burn it.
I have no issue with it.
Yeah.
It helps
It's chill.
people. If it benefits you and if it helps you, I know some people who like they don't react to it well. Don't do it.
I agree. It's not
Right.
for
Again,
everyone.
like,
Everyone reacts different.
Like,
Everyone
we all
reacts
play a
differently.
role and we all have different, interests, tastes, and stuff like that. You do what you got to do. You got to know yourself. So
Know yourself.
I know myself. I don't know how I'd react on it. I don't want to find out. So I'm gonna keep it that way.
There you
So-
go. There you go.
I agree, and I think everyone's got to find their thing because, like we just said, no one's gonna be 100% towards anything. No one's ever gonna be perfectly like fit in a box. I think it's okay to like partake in certain things. Like, if you don't want to, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I think it's cool to at least try certain things. At least for me, when I'd burn the tree, it would open up my mind to different perspectives that I didn't see when I was clouded. Not clouded, but I guess like just in a sense, just in a fog. You burn the tree a little bit. It just kind of opens up your mind to
Yeah.
different things. It helps me self-reflect more than anything, and I feel like that's important for me because sometimes I feel like I lean 1-2 way, and I feel like it kind of centers me, balances me out a little bit, where
For
I'm able
sure,
to like
yeah.
have an out-of-body experience in a sense. And like the way I'm cool with it is that I can say it just grows like that.
Yeah.
I'm not adding baking soda and cooking it in the crock pot. You know what I
Baking
mean?
soda.
It's like
Right.
Like shrooms just grow that
You
way.
grow it in the ground, yeah.
Grow it in the
That's
ground.
what
Just
I'm
grow. If it just grows that way, like, and I just stumble upon it and happen to eat it,
God
and I
created
trip,
Yeah.
that was kind of meant to do that in a sense,
yeah,
right?
that's why I have no issue against
You know what I
it,
mean?
yeah.
And like, look at animals. Animals get high. Animals legit will eat shrooms and get high, like intentionally. Dolphins will get high by puffing the air out of a pufferfish or something like that.
Yeah,
It releases
it's
like a
some kind
toxin
of
that makes them
pufferfish.
high, dude. I remember we watched this on like a Discovery Channel clip, and it was crazy, and we were like, "Holy shit!"
You guys
Like,
were high watching this, weren't you?
I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
the dolphins were not the only mammals high
Yeah.
that time. And
Dude, dolphins are just crazy
they're
smart.
so into they
They have sex
That's
for
another-
pleasure. Fucking.
they're so smart to the point where they're
Weird.
able to make these self-aware decisions.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, you want to get high? Well, let's go fucking puff the pufferfish. You know what I mean?
Let's go
I mean,
find
it's
some
crazy.
puffers.
Let's go find exactly. Like they're so smart to the point where like they get high.
Yeah.
Which is why I can like justify in a sense of like if it just
It's
grow like that,
natural.
elephants are able to eat it, fucking tigers eat it, and they get high. Then like, fucking, I'm gonna get high too.
Yeah. I mean, like I know I've seen stories of people like do mushrooms, psychedelics, and they have like
Yeah, I've never tried shrooms, but
they'll
I'd
have
to.
like experiences like like a wide array. Some people will have like a coming to Christ moment.
Yeah.
Like, some people will have just like in like a
They purge and they
just an
figure
eye-
out something
yeah.
else about themselves.
like you said, like a sort of like an out of body like experience.
self-reflection. Yeah,
So like if that like I don't like it benefits people.
as long as it's
Why would I-
positive, right?
Yeah. Why would I? If something is not like, and it's not a band-aid either. I don't think some things some
No.
people do and they use it as a band-aid or just to cover up. You know, they just do it temporarily to sort of distract themselves.
Some people could abuse it, right?
But I think some people do it because it genuinely helps them, and if it assists them and whatever, like then I don't go for it.
Like me
You
personally,
know yourself better than me. I'm not going to judge anyone. You know.
exactly. Like me personally,
Facts.
like I couldn't be high all day long. Like I know, like hey, I got a certain amount of things I need to get done today.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm not always the most productive when I am that way. So I make sure, like, okay, if I want to do that today, I got to get all my shit done first.
Yeah.
So business before pleasure, all that shit, whatever that means. I just try to get my, I just try to get on my grind, and then I reward myself. You know what I mean?
It's better to do that than the other way around. Because you do it the other way around, you give yourself the reward first. You probably don't do the work after.
Exactly.
So it's like
Facts.
also like a
You gotta earn that
natural-
shit.
Right.
You gotta earn it. You gotta earn your food, earn your spot. Hold your fucking weight, Ty.
It's big facts, bro. I mean, dude, recently I've been talking to you about it. I've been trying to get off the schmeed, at least cut it back. You know,
Schmeed.
Yeah, he does want to go on his sobriety grind.
yeah, like
I'm
drinking.
for it.
Drinking, a few weeks ago, I was like, I drank a lot in like a small amount of time. I was like, all right,
Dude, October killed
like
me.
I don't like alcohol in the first place. Like, I just do
Not
it
for me.
like it's a social thing. Like I was hanging around people who like to drink a lot, so I was drinking a lot.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, that's enough of that.
And it was Halloween. It was in the
Yeah.
festivities.
Yeah.
And I know, like,
Everyone's dressed
Thanksgiving
up,
is-
you know.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it.
I
But
know. But we're doing sober November, other than the schmeed. And at least me, I'm doing sober November
Hey, one
because
step at a time. Maybe December will go full sober.
full sobriety.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's true.
Sober,
It's true.
sober December. Who knows?
But
You're right.
I definitely
But
there's something to be said about, you know, just having that clarity. Like
I agree.
if like whether you like it or not, like smoking weed is going to affect you in some negative ways. There are positives to it, but there's going to be some negatives. And
Yeah,
if
I agree.
obviously, like, I mean, I'm fucking guilty of it myself more
you're
than
right.
more
I
than
agree.
most people, but that's just the way I've been looking at it lately, like that. And funny enough, I've been coming across more and more people like Carmen who are just like sober or just
Yeah, it's
Either
it's
they've
more
been
common
sober
than
or
you
they're-
think.
like McGuire,
McGuire is
Glizzy McGuire.
You know
dude,
Evan McGuire?
Yeah.
He's been like sober for 3 months now, I think.
yeah,
3
and
months
like
completely nothing.
everyone,
Not even masturbating. Not like, I know that's sus, but he's like
It's not sus, man.
Pause.
he's pause, but he's completely done. No drug essentially.
Yeah.
No substances. Nothing
Something
that
to
can
be proud about. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, and I don't like.
and A Drinks also doing it.
I don't like
Hey, Jordan.
when I say I don't do that stuff.
Shouts.
I don't speak like from a place of superiority either.
No,
One
no,
decision
no.
I would probably like. I would be doing this stuff too.
Yes.
To me, it just feels like I never really, I feel like a lot of the big reason why kids get into it in like high school and college is because like they want to get into a friend group. They want to win approval.
Want to fit in.
They're peer pressured. I'm not saying that's the case for everyone, but some kids are young or insecure.
That was me. I was big peer pressure.
I'm always peer pressured.
Yeah.
Which is why I just say I'm doing sober November, bitch.
I am too. Like I get like that sometimes too, where I want to impress people or do something like that. You want to feel like you're part of the club. It's human nature.
Yeah.
Where we're hunter gatherers, right? We roll in groups.
Yeah. Packs.
But I just happen to have enough. Like I don't know. I just happen to look past it enough times to the point where now it's like I'm away from college. I don't hang out with many friends who are big into it, and it's just like now it's just I'm good with my environment now, and I'm at a point in my life too where it's like I don't need to even experiment with it.
Did you ever have to turn down parties or going out to see the boys because you knew it was a situation where you'd find yourself there, and you just one, it's not your scene, and two, it's not worth it to you?
Freshman year, I was walking with one of my teammates who's a freshman, and going to the senior house to party, whatever, on the football team, and I remember door opened. This is like out of a movie. Girls, alcohol on the counter, dudes telling us to come on in and stuff like that. And I remember my freshman team, and he walked in, and I left. I turned around and went back to my dorm. I was like,
hell yeah, bro, hell yeah.
To me, just I don't know. I was always raised by my mom too to just like. Just steer clear of that stuff. That sort of, especially alcohol. Again, I'm not talking about weed. I'm just talking about like alcohol. That's sort of like, because I've had people in my family who have died from like,
dude, there's nothing good about
alcohol overuse and alcohol addiction. Like there's people in my family, and like I don't even want to open that door. It's not even a door I want to open. So when I saw that, it was almost like I said, it's like a movie scene where I was like, I can walk in there, and if I walked in there, I don't know, maybe I would have enjoyed it. Maybe I would have became addicted to it. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe I would have.
Was it worth it?
That was a turning point in your life.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's where free will comes into play. Like I could have.
That's the free will. You could have started chugging,
and maybe I would have become addicted to it, and it would have changed my life. And I don't know.
Yeah.
But in that, I think I made the right decision.
I would say so.
I don't know. So
I don't think you would have been like an addicted person if you had a sip, but like
no,
I see.
But
like,
you don't know where that road could lead.
That's what I'm saying. Why
you
even
don't
open the door?
Why even open the door?
You know what I mean? You don't know what's behind the door.
I agree.
But yeah, I don't know. It just to me like we said, the first thing we said, training's a drug. Like
training
that's
is a fucking drug.
It's addicting, and I'm fully sober when I'm doing it. And
because it's your drug,
and it's beneficial to me physically and mentally, and it's like it doesn't get better than this.
100%. I agree.
And when people drink, what do? They wake up the next morning hungover. They feel like shit.
Don't even hate
like
that shit.
I
go to the gym. We go to the gym, bro. You get out of the gym, you get some protein.
Trust me,
you're on top of the world.
You're telling me.
I hate feeling like the serotonins.
Why wouldn't you choose that 10 times out of 10 over the other one? And I feel like, again,
why are you choosing to put yourself in hell?
But this is why. Because let's break down psychology. Again, it's a social
peer pressure,
thing.
social happiness, all this shit.
If other people are doing it,
it's literally a depressant. Like scientifically, called a downer.
But like I've always, even people who say, I've seen like videos of people saying like after they drink and get drunk and stuff like that, they're like, this is the last time I'll ever do this. Like in that state right then, you're like, this is the last time. Yeah. But then it comes back around.
That was a lie.
Yeah.
It's like I'm never drinking again.
Yeah.
So again,
at one point it was like every weekend. Yeah, I'm never drinking again. Next weekend, drinking.
Yeah. Because again, you're in an emotional state.
And I've said that
point.
before myself too. And like I could really do without it. Like I would never have drink, and I'd be so happy.
I agree.
I'm not shitting on people who do it. You want to sip a little wine, bro?
Do whatever you want.
You want to have some Henny? Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I'm just saying moderation matters, especially when it comes to that stuff.
Definitely.
Great point.
Like,
definitely.
So you got to know yourself.
But a lot of people think that they have to drink in order to get drunk, and that's like the worst mentality, I think.
Yeah, not
horrible mentality.
I mean, that's like literally for me. That's also like religious for me too. That's like you should, like even Jesus drank wine back in the day. Like drinking alcohol isn't a sin.
If you have a wine with dinner, what's wrong with that?
It's not a sin. No,
you have the whole bottle now. It's maybe something wrong with that.
For me, it's wrong to drink just to get drunk. Like to me, that's sinful.
Okay.
That's what we believe. So, yeah. I also like I don't see the point in it. What do you like?
It's no point. No point.
The only thing it's doing is setting you back.
Well, like
you're gonna wake up next day feeling like shit.
When you go to the gym, bro, you eat well, have a good meal. There's benefits to it. You can clearly like
feel the energy,
identify like things. You can look at the science for it. Show me one thing that getting shit faced and waking up the next morning like
zero good benefits.
Is a movie for it? Does it make you more money? Does it make you more healthy physically, mentally? I don't know.
And so
Definitely not.
I don't know.
It
I
legit
think it's
sucks eggs. It's so bad. It's so bad for you.
So like I don't know. Like again, you're in college and you're a 21-year-old. You want to go do what you got to do. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, experience
You
the
know?
world, but also like make good decisions.
Yeah, because we've seen people. I mean, dude,
Moderation.
Yeah.
This is pulling one out of the back pocket. But what was that story about that kid on a cruise who was intoxicated?
Oh, he fell off, right?
No, he jumped off.
Jesus.
Because his boys were telling him to jump off or whatever. Jumped off into the ocean. That was just this past year, I think.
Yeah, he died, right?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I had
Got lost
didn't
at
know
sea.
about
It
that.
was like a college trip or something like that. I don't know. But that's what happens when you have a little alcohol in your system. And you have
Liquid
people peer
confidence.
pressuring you, dude. I just don't want to be in a state where like I'm influenced
not you
by
making the decision.
Yes.
yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
You don't have your free will in that
Yeah, you're
moment.
right.
You know, you
some
kind of
spirit-
take it
Alcohol can
away from
literally
yourself.
Spirits working inside you,
Yeah.
you know?
Alcohol can literally impair you because of the
They're called spirits for
the
a reason.
BAC
Yeah.
levels and like how you need to get your stomach pumped if it's over. Like that can literally impair you. Like if you get high, you smoke a little weed, like that's not impairing you. You know what I mean? At least for me, everyone's different, but I think I make better decisions. I mean, me personally, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, like,
There
you
you
gotta do
go.
what works for you, bro.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't say any of this from like a place. I'm just speaking
Yeah.
personally. I don't say any of this from like a place. of,
if
like,
if people find that clarity in drinking some fucking gin, I'm for it.
what's his name? Marshawn Lynch
It's
used
just
to take
not
a
me.
shot before every game.
Yeah,
Shot a penny, bro.
something like that. And Skittles.
Yeah, his skills on the side. Do what you
And
gotta
it
do.
worked-
do what
it
you-
worked for
It
him.
worked for him.
For sure.
It worked for him. I agree. Whatever works for you. It just doesn't work for me. That's why it kind of like sucks when like I do go out and I'm like, no, I'm good, and like everyone's like, wow, drinking please, wah. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Stop, bro. But that thing's your environment, bro. That's one thing. As you get older, you realize like
Yeah, that is just
what you're sort of around. It not only affects like who you'll become, but it just affects your like overall like mentality to everything.
Yeah.
You're
I
just
agree.
like in a depressing like environment or whatever like that. It weighs heavy on your soul and your mind, and it just like it saps you of energy. And
Yeah.
it's so true that quote about how you
Preserve your energy.
are who you surround you are who
Top 5 people you hang
the
with.
5 people you surround yourself with most. That's who you end up like. It's true.
I agree. I totally agree.
100%,
It's like-
bro.
So I don't know. For me, it wasn't going to those like the best thing for me. If any advice to those kids like who are in high school or college and trying to avoid that stuff, just
You're not
don't
missing
show up
out.
to them.
Yeah, you're
Just
not missing out.
Like that's the best way you can avoid it. Is just don't show up to the parties and stuff like that. You can hang out with your boys in different ways. You know what I mean?
Do something productive instead of going to the party.
You know what I mean? You can just hang out without having to do that stuff. If you want to avoid
Totally.
that stuff, just remove yourself from the environment altogether. And I mean, then you don't give yourself the option to give in. You know?
Yeah.
You just
I agree.
eliminate that.
Hell yeah.
I agree. Like there's so many times where like a lot of people have this thing called FOMO, right?
Yes.
Fear of missing
Yes.
out, right? And that's a big thing that
Huge at social media.
that hinders people from staying sober is because they feel like they're going to miss out. And there are plenty of times, trust me, where I wanted to be with the boys. They're out at some bar or whatever, and I just want to be with my friends, but I know that if I go, I'm just going to do things that don't serve me. I'm going to waste a ton of money on things I don't want to do. I'm going to drink, and that's something I don't even want to do, and I'm going to feel like shit the next day. That's something I definitely don't want to feel. All these things that just add up, and I'm like, realistically, all these things.
You're not missing out on
For me,
anything.
for me personally, again, like you said, I can't speak for everybody, and some people find joy in it.
Yeah.
Me personally, though, all those things, I'm like, I don't want to be somewhere I don't want to be. I don't want to do things I don't want to do. I don't want to spend unnecessary money. All right, how do I do that? All right, I'm just going to stay home on a Saturday night, play some fucking Xbox or
Yeah,
something.
man.
You know what I mean?
That's
And
what I've been doing.
That's
you know?
cool with me, dude. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't mind missing out on a couple of drinks, me personally. Some people are definitely afraid of it. And like you said, people get peer pressure into acting a certain way that doesn't serve them. And I just think you got to do things that serve you. Me personally, that doesn't serve me.
Social media makes it 10 times worse, bro.
Social media, like the Nelk Boys. Let's talk about the Nelk Boys. I love the Nelk Boys. I'm huge. I've been on the Nelk Boys since like high school, but they did turn their brand into a big frat party drinking brand, and it blew up because
They hit
that's
the jackpot, that's
what
for sure.
they hit the
It's a
jackpot.
market.
Happy
It's a
Dad.
fucking market. The frat life is a fucking market for all
Huge, man.
college boys and girls. It's huge, and like
And it's like revolving too. It will never
Yeah.
go away.
it's
There will always be colleges. There will always be, there will always be a new line of alcohol coming out, like a new
Yep.
seltzer.
Yep.
It's always. That's the thing about it too.
Seltzers are too easy.
It's
I mean, listen, again, like, I don't, dude, these guys are making a ton of money, and, like,
Ridiculous.
I respect them for what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think, like, I wouldn't be able to, like, put my head down at night knowing, like, that's,
Encouraging a bad image.
yeah, I don't know. And again, like, I don't want to criticize, because, like,
They're making bread.
there's
off
the
it.
broke kid in Wakefield talking about the kids on YouTube, like, Milk Boys. It's like, I don't
We're
want to
not
criticize that
criticizing.
guy.
It's just
But, like,
opinion.
Me personally, I wouldn't be, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be known for that. I wouldn't want that to be my
Yeah.
image. Like, alcohol and partying, and to me, it's hedonism. It's like, it's giving into temptations and pleasures that you don't. To me, that's the opposite of, like, work now, play later. It's just play.
Well, let me play devil's advocate, because I have seen them get on their gym grind a little more. They've been going with Bradley Martin, making supplements with him, getting in the gym, getting on their grind. Like, Steve will do it as jacked out of his tree. Like, even the guy Jesse, that is like the main guy of Nelk, is getting in really good shape. He's really getting dialed in. So I've watched videos of him where he has even said, like, he has to pick and choose his battles now.
Yeah.
Like before, he could go to any party, drink, feel fine the next day. Now, as he's getting older and life's changing, he has to realize, like, I can't go all out like I used to. I have to pick and choose that, like, maybe once a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't do it as much as I did because it's different now.
It's tough.
And I got to focus on my health. I got to focus on this. I got to focus on the brand. He's like, when I'm hungover and hurt, I can't work on the brand. I can't put out the merch. I can't make these decisions.
Well, he took a break from it all, didn't he? He, like, had to step away.
Yeah, Jesse did. Yeah.
And, like,
Just proving.
Understandably so. Yeah, too much of it is too much.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you got to do it in like, again, moderation. It's cool. The thing that's difficult about them is, like, that's their brand now.
Yeah, unfortunately,
You
that
know,
will
like,
always
you
They
have
have
to
to.
be the, you know.
They
But I
have to
do
be
like that they
drinking.
do encourage, the health
They're
side
in
of
the
it,
gym
eating
now,
right
yeah.
in the gym with Bradley Martin, who is a guy that encourages you to, be a good role model and things like
Yeah.
that. So I do have to play devil's advocate with the point, like, they are encouraging a bad brand, but they're also showing that you do need to be smart about it.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, the whole, like, content creator community, like, I don't know, frustrates me a little bit, because I think a lot of these people, even athletes, and I understand some of them,
They target insecurities.
they're bought and paid for. I understand that, a lot of them, by corporations and by people. I understand that.
Yes.
But at the same time, bro, I wish they used their platforms for, like, better
For
things.
better things.
I-
Like
I-
Mr.
Yeah.
Beast, man.
He's doing great
Fucking
things.
love
Yeah,
Mr.
he's doing
Beast.
good
Great
shit.
things.
He just put 100 wells in Africa, you said, right?
100
Yeah.
wells in Africa.
Jeez,
Yeah, like, that's.
Dude.
Does a lot
Dude,
of
he was
great
paying
stuff.
for
you know
people's
what's-
eye surgery.
But the thing about
Yeah.
that, like, crazy about that is too, like, you get people in the comments going, maybe not him at that level, but people maybe lower level doing those similar things. They go, well, you could have just done a good deed without filming it and stuff like that. And there's always people still hating on guys like that who.
But he needed it in order
Crazy.
to fund that.
Right,
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
They
That's
don't,
the only
they don't
way
understand
he
that.
found
Though.
the
They're
cheat
just
code.
filled with hate and, like, stuff like that. 'Cause they're just viewing from their, their mama's basement, with
With their ivory
cookie
towers.
crumbs, crumbs on their stomach, and they're commenting on YouTube saying shit like that.
Yeah.
When they haven't put
Yeah.
themselves in the arena once in their life, they're in the
Yeah.
stands, chirping. That's how it is, though.
I
When you're in the
agree.
arena, you're gonna get the tomatoes, you're gonna get the booze, you're gonna get you're gonna get shit thrown at you. But I mean,
Haters got to do their
Haters
job.
have
too.
to
That's
do
what they
their
do.
job. That's their job.
hey, you need to sell.
Everyone's got
tickets.
a job.
You got to sell tickets to make money, I guess. I mean, that's how it
It's
goes.
true.
Like,
You know who Cat Williams is?
I do the
Comedian?
Yeah.
He has this bit where he talks about haters and how he looks at it as a good thing. And he was saying that, like, he's like, why is everyone fucking complaining about haters? Like, haters are got to do their goddamn job, so you do your goddamn job. And he was like, if you have 10 haters, you need to find out how to get to 20 by the end of the year. And he's always like, just fucking,
It's
he's
true.
spitting facts.
It's funny how it correlates, though.
It's, yeah.
Like, the more successful you are,
the more haters you'll have.
it's just like a truth. It's weird.
Because
So you-
people get jealous.
Listen to Cat Williams, man. He knows what he's talking
We were
about.
talking about McGregor earlier. People love him.
Yeah.
Just as many people who despise him.
That's
hate
so
him,
true. That's
think
so
he's
true.
a clown. Don't
I
think
love
he's
it.
actually as good as he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like,
But he pisses me off sometimes.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Yeah,
Dad.
Dad.
Um,
Dad.
It's the same thing with everyone else. Think of
That's
anyone.
so
You know what I
true.
mean? Like LeBron, bro.
It's
Like,
that
look at
balance.
LeBron.
It's that fucking yin
LeBron
and yang.
There's some
has-
serious Braun sexuals out there.
Yes.
But you got some serious, like, Braun haters, bro.
sexuals.
Some people who despise LeBron, like, in
Yeah.
these comment sections, spending the majority of their day talking shit on him. It's
There's T-shirts. LeBron's a bitch.
Hey, LeBron, I was
LeBron's
really
a
a pussy
commie,
ass
you know what I mean?
bitch.
But
Watch your
say what
mouth.
you want. Like, I saw the clip. It was like Charles Barkley saying everything LeBron has accomplished is just like
It
unbelievable.
is crazy.
Because
yeah.
he was like top. He lived to his potential. Never stayed out of trouble.
Absolutely.
did what he's supposed to do, like in today's
Married
day
to
and
his
age.
high school sweetheart.
Right.
Like, that's respectable, bro. I respect him. Do I think he's paid for by
Yes.
Do I think he's bought? Yes, I do. I think he's a I think he could use his influence for better things.
I agree.
Wait, what do you mean paid for?
He's bought out by people above him. I think
Yeah.
for his influence, they pay for his
Okay.
influence
Because
and
he
stuff
is
like that.
he has big
Um,
influence.
Politics, corporations. You know.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about earlier? I think
He's an icon. He's
I mean,
a character
yeah.
now. He's
I mean,
not
that's-
LeBron anymore.
That's how it is with almost every actor too, and that's how they get them.
Right.
You saw what they did with I don't want to get into this, but with COVID.
yeah.
You saw how they were using celebrities and athletes. Even Kelsey now, they're using Travis Kelsey with the
I know. Taylor
I
Swift.
don't- again-
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey have to be that has to be a ploy.
for money. Yeah,
Dude, the numbers are fucking skyrocketing.
Hey, they're winning.
She put NFL on the map.
but that's what I'm saying.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
like,
no one
stuff like
watched.
that.
No one watched the NFL before this happened.
No one watched the NFL before her.
Stuff like that feels like it could be staged, but like,
I know.
yeah, some of these guys like
But if it is, like, good for them because they're winning.
right.
Like Travis is on every commercial.
Yeah. So
He just
true.
won the Super Bowl. He's on every commercial. He's got superstar girlfriend.
I know.
He was just in Argentina.
Experian. He's on the Experian, the insurance commercial.
Yeah, dude, every commercial. Like
He's on.
he got his
all on State Farm.
he got his booster
Yeah, the
commercial.
Pfizer man.
Booster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Pfizer one.
Pfizer.
Yeah.
So he might be
It's crazy.
some high power type
no,
shit
they,
right
they-
now.
but that's what
because he's dating
they're
Taylor
essentially-
Swift.
Bro, they're essentially like they're like a walking business in a way. Like they pay for these people.
Their
They pay for their
IP is
influence.
them.
They pay
Yeah.
LeBron James and the amount of money he's probably getting for an ad.
My
Dude,
God.
he gets all the clicks.
Oh, he's getting 7 figures easily for these like
Yeah.
average like commercials and stuff like that because his influence is so great. People love him and they hate
Anything
him and
with
they're
his
gonna tune in
name
to
on
watch
it.
him.
Yeah, anything
So-
with his name on it, it's like auto clicks.
So that's the only thing. It's like I asked myself, if I was in that position, I hope I would have the integrity. Not that like some
we
ads.
talked about this. The
not
corruption.
That, like, some of the stuff he does is you get the bag, bro. Like if it's good stuff, you know what I
bag.
mean. But if you're going against your beliefs and what you believe in, and you're influencing,
Sacrificing,
you're
yeah.
influencing people to do something that you wouldn't tell your own kids to do or tell yourself to do. That's selling your soul.
That's selling your
Metaphor.
soul.
Selling your soul.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I
Can't
mean,
sacrifice those beliefs.
I'm not against a brother getting his bread. I'm all for it.
Facts.
But I
Facts.
think integrity
Get your
has to
bread
come-
up.
You know, integrity and morality comes into to a certain degree, and it's like if you don't believe in something and you're advertising it, I think that's cowardice. That's how I'd consider it.
Yeah. You're right. No, you're right.
You think You think Travis is a pro vaxxer?
I think no. I
At the
think
end of the
I
day,
think see,
it's,
that's the
you
thing
gotta
about
get your
him.
bread up, and you're if you want the bread that bad, you will do what it takes.
If he's boosted and vaxxed and everything, you know what I
He
mean. Get the
truly
money.
believes in it,
If
yeah.
if he was, I'd be more upset if he wasn't vaxxed and he was promoting that
Yes,
stuff.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, that's more like
I agree.
what are you doing? Like you're not living it. It's
Yeah.
like what these politicians do. Telling you to do
Facts.
one thing, do as I say, not as I do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You have to
Yeah.
follow my directions, but I don't
Hypocritical.
have to follow it. I think that's like the biggest form of cowardice. It's like
I agree.
live what you preach.
We've been watching. Have you seen the show The Boys? Superhero show.
I've heard of it. I got some friends who watch it. I've heard it's like
It's sick.
unsettling.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for
It's
everyone.
wild. It's
But
wild.
It's wild.
I
You
haven't
should-
tuned in. I've heard about. I've seen like the Homelander edits, Metro Boomin. I've the song Superman.
Oh
that
yeah.
great monologue. I mean, at
Oh.
the beginning of it.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's sick.
Like
I'm showing him right now. We're reacting it for the channel, and like you were just saying, how they're bought off for their influence. That's essentially what the superheroes are in this
Yeah.
show. They're bought off for their
again,
influence.
I believe stuff like that. My friends were telling me about this actually. I believe stuff like that foreshadows the truth. I think there's some of these shows and movies they put out there. There's truth.
It's like
to
social
in our
commentary.
Exactly.
Well, it's a social commentary, but it's also kind of hypocritical because the whole thing about the show is it's kind of like a satirical play on like corporations that control and manipulate.
Yeah.
But it's also produced by Amazon, so like it's a little tongue in cheek. You know what I mean?
There's always,
It's
this is what they
hypocritical.
do. I mean, look at The Simpsons, man. There's something going on.
Oh man, I mean,
You know what I
Something
mean?
going on.
he's wired on that. You're wired on
Something
that.
going on, like
What's his name? Grogan.
Grogan.
Is he's the time traveler?
I don't know
Traveler.
what it is. All I'm saying, but like, it's just they know. Some people know more stuff than other humans. That's all I know.
Yeah,
Definitely.
You know,
They're
I
hiding.
agree.
They're keeping something from the masses.
I agree.
Sure. I mean, it's And we know they do that in industries like food and pharmaceuticals. Why wouldn't they do that in other industries?
Dude, it's too
Right.
easy. It's like I said, they have us in a chokehold. It's too easy to manipulate.
You
It's too
control
easy.
and censor the information that you release, then it's pretty
Mhm.
easy.
They
Yeah.
play well. They play their cards well. I gotta give it to them. It sucks, but it is what it is. But I mean,
They got society by a chokehold. But
society is a joke now.
it's like, but like at this point, like, what are we supposed to do about that? Because a lot of people
Just spread
are
awareness.
tapped into what we're saying.
Spread
I mean,
awareness.
yeah, spread awareness.
So that's what I'm saying. This is what I was saying earlier about how they want to overload us with like distractions and stuff like that. Like aliens
Yep.
is coming out now, bro. You got like wars in
Aliens.
foreign countries and stuff like that. They want you to
True.
be preoccupied with not just the things in your own life, like your job, and your taxes, and
Yeah.
your everyday worries about going to the bar and getting
taxes
drunk
are a
and stuff
fucking
like that.
scam.
Oh please, we can get into that. But like also like
scam.
the entire world, bro. Like COVID is going on. You got foreign wars over here. You got the whole border thing. They want you to be anxious and worried and occupied constantly, so that you rely on them. It's as simple as that.
We
They don't
rely on
want you,
them.
and
We
there's
rely
a
on
reason
them.
why they take God out of schools as well, because they don't want you relying on God. They want you relying on them.
Mm.
All right, so, I mean that's
Interesting.
this is how
Good
this is
point.
how
Interesting.
society. But like, this is how it's been since the beginning of time. There's evil people
Ain't
who
shit
have their own evil
changed.
agendas. There's they can get away with more today because of technology. They can censor more, right? They can
AI.
silence people.
They do silence people.
You know what I
bad.
mean?
It's not
So
good.
AI now coming out, you're only
AI
going to
is-
see more shit.
Up to no good.
It's just the reality of the world, bro. People are going to do bad. People are going to do good. Good will win in the end. Though I believe that.
I
but-
believe that.
But
I
you know,
believe
everything
that.
done in the dark will come to the light. I believe that. But for the meantime, we live in a world corrupted by evil for the most part. So
Yeah,
got to find a way to deal with it.
Yeah.
you're so right. I mean, Ty. I mean, we've been going for a while. What do you think? What do you got to say?
I mean, this has been an amazing talk.
This has been a
We-
lot
yeah.
to think about.
A lot to
We
unbox.
dove right in
We
too.
dove right in. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
dove right in.
Bouncing all over the place, but I like it that way. I got a lot
no
of
foreplay.
ideas and thoughts in my mind, you know.
No, I
so
can
I like
tell.
letting them all out.
I can tell, bro.
Talking with
I'm the
people.
same exact way. I know exactly how the brain works.
Yeah,
It's just
man.
like I have so many things like I try to just rationalize to myself, and some things are just irrational. Some
You
things
can
are
bounce it off of someone else, though. You know,
like, bounce it off, and see
hear
what
it
exactly
different ways. You know,
New perspectives, bro.
New
That's
perspectives.
That's all it's about.
yeah. That's what like this podcast is about. Like,
It's challenging me.
when are we ever gonna sit down with you, like in a
Fair.
normal day, and have a good like conversation like this? Never.
Yeah.
We haven't had a conversation and probably face to face in
Years,
Few years.
years,
You know what I mean?
And
so,
like-
yeah.
and I would do this without the camera, without the mics. I would do
Sure.
this because
Hell
I just
yeah.
want to hear what people have to say. I like finding common ground with people that you wouldn't normally find common ground.
Absolutely. And that's one thing they don't want us to realize either. And I say they don't want people to realize that
elites.
we relate more. Like they want us to feel like we're so different and we're constantly divided and we have nothing in
Right.
common. Dude, a lot of
Yeah.
people I talk to think the same way I think, are aware of the same things that I'm aware of, and want to push back against the same things I want to push back against. It's just that
They don't know
we
how.
don't think we're
Yeah.
that close. We think we're divided. We think we're on opposite sides of the spectrum, but really we think similarly.
Yeah.
So it's cool having conversations like this. You know, I've talked to a bunch of other people who think the same way. So
Fuck yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I'm glad we could do this, Carm.
This
Do you
has
have
been dope.
anything else you want to say that we didn't touch upon? Like, what could you leave with the people?
man, I don't know. Maybe we touched on a lot. I don't know where to take it.
What's the moral of the story?
The moral of the story, I would say, ring the towel. I would say do the
Okay.
best.
Okay.
Do the best with what you're given. I think everyone has been given, has been allotted a certain level of talent and ability on this earth,
Mm.
in my opinion, from God. And I think our job and our duty, and I think this is where purpose comes into play, because I think a lot of people lack purpose, is that your purpose is to essentially become everything that you were created to be. And
Yeah.
if you give in to the temptations and you fall short, you give into evil and you give into what, for me, Satan wants you to do, you'll fall short of it and you'll be a failure.
Mm.
Point blank. Now, if you
Okay.
resist the temptations and you resist the wrongdoings and you do right in your life and you
Make the
choose
good
morality,
decisions,
right? You help
yeah.
others and you ring that towel, you truly extract every single ounce that you have within you that God has given you. That's a success. So I think
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
There you go.
I just break it down. Just
you have two choices. You can do right, you can do wrong. You know, you can follow your passions, or you can get complacent and lazy, right? You can go and get that job or get that promotion that you've wanted all your life, or you can settle for the one that you know you shouldn't be working. Like, you just got to carry that mindset. Just shoot for, you know, just shoot to be the best person that God created you to be. And I think if everyone was like that, it'd be a good world. It'd be a good place to live in. Unfortunately, you know, it's not the case. But just be one of the, you know, be one of the ones who execute.
Hell yeah, bro. Hey, you people heard it first.
I agree.
He just
I got a little philosophical.
No, he just gave you purpose right there and then.
That's what it's about, man.
You know, like,
I agree.
Fulfill your not your destiny, but
ring the towel, man.
Get your full potential. Get your full potential, bro.
No, I agree.
Hell yeah.
I just want to reiterate. Yeah, fucking give it literally every little thing you have. Give it whatever you do, whatever it is, whatever it is. Fucking get everything you have, and like. Along the way, you know, people will love you for it. People will hate you for it. You know, that's how life goes. No one's always going to love you. No one's always going to, you know, there's going to be adversity. But just do it anyway, and the real ones will respect you for it. And the fake ones don't matter. That's what I would say.
That's facts, man.
I agree.
Put the blinders on.
Put the fucking blinders on.
You put your hand in the dirt and get to work.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's leave it at that then. Carm, tell them where they can find you.
I'm on IG. I'm on IG, Carmtino.
Carmtino, look him up.
I was posting on TikTok, Carm Sorrentino. I've been actually like I've been slacking on both. I've been posting there, just trying to get myself right, doing other things behind the scenes. But definitely gonna get back to just, you know, sharing this mentality, sharing my view on life. Again, I don't speak from a point of superiority. I don't speak like I know more than others.
Your beliefs.
I'm just sharing what I believe. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's why I like having conversations like this, because I get to learn about you guys and, you know, other people too. So,
love it.
You know, give me a shout though if you fuck with the mentality. Give me the follow, and
hell yeah.
We'll get back to work soon. But yeah, that's where Carmtino on IG, and you'll find my TikTok there as well. I think it's in the bio. But
fuck yeah, well go
check him out.
Please.
Go check him out.
Carmtino, follow him on TikTok.
He's got a lot of great ideas.
Yeah, keep following, because trust me, you got it in you.
Great mentality.
You have enough drive to the point where you won't lay yourself down. So. Go follow him, and dude, I want you to come back on this pod. You know, you get to learn so much about what other people think, and that's why I love doing this. So I'm glad we could have you on.
I appreciate it, fellas.
Fuck yeah, let's just dance it out.
Dance it out.
Hey,
the live band.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
TV. All right. Good night, everybody.